Yeah, do.
Well, I guess we're live.
Are, are we live?
Yeah, we are. Intro.
All right, we're live. Welcome everybody to another episode of Script Corners. I guess we're doing it on Christmas because we got nothing better to do with our sad lives.
COVID-19. COVID.
Derp and Good General.
Ill.
Well, my name is Kaiser, but it's fine. Whatever.
Yeah, no. Just begin. Ugh. Can we not have another meltdown like last time? Replica. I mean, he's not here, but still.
I think we'll be fine here. Why is Kaiser really quiet all of a sudden?
Turn him up to 200. 200% him.
Wait, Kaiser's speaking, but his thing is not working.
Alright, I can hear him now. We're all good.
My mic is it's because my mic is that sensitive. Let me go to my settings.
No, you're good.
You're good.
Okay.
And now...
Yeah, I guess we can just get into it and have a good laugh because Turf Nation is meme potential.
He's not Adam, but...
He's no Adam, you know, and I actually do kind of respect the guy for actively making videos that aren't just taking cheap shots at creators. He actually tries to engage with the content. But
What I like
his
about
videos are
Turf,
still bad.
it feels like Turf's actually putting, effort into videos. Not
Yeah.
just...
Yeah, but just something you don't see very often from prequel haters.
He's not a prequel hater, just...
Well, I mean,
I guess all I would say is that he's too nice towards the sequels, and he dislikes Anomaly Inc. for very weird reasons.
Well, let's get into the video.
Yep.
yeah.
Well.
Anymore.
Anomaly Inc. is back, and this time he gave his opinion on the worst Star Wars movie ever made. Spoiler, it's between The Last Jedi and The Rise of Skywalker. I know this video came out like a week and a half ago, but I've just been very busy and I haven't had the time, but now I do. And I really-
Oh, hello, Oliver.
Hi, Oliver.
Are we not gonna fuck up the stream this time?
I'm just gonna.
I'm gonna try my best.
Okay, his
Trying
mic's
is
not bad,
good enough.
actually.
My mouse is right over the fucking ban button right now.
It's just the last time there was a
If you
lot. There was
try
a something in the
anything,
background
you're
talking
gone.
really loud.
I'm not even kidding.
Man, Derp is pissed.
His mic wasn't that bad just then, though.
really want to talk about it. I feel like this discussion is very important to have. So therefore, today I'll be giving my own take on Anomaly Inc.'s video on which Star Wars movie is the worst Star Wars movie ever made. First, let's clear some...
video.
Did Alex actually like say anything of like true importance in that video? I just kind of felt like he was like, "Yeah, this one's worse, but I think I hate this other one more." It didn't really seem like anything to cover, but maybe I'm forgetting something.
Yeah, we.
Speaking of which, is there like any true competition for the worst Star Wars movie beyond Last Jedi and Rise of Skywalker? Because I feel like there's, Force Awakens, I guess, but is that one actually worse than TLJ or Tross?
No, I don't think TFA is as bad as TLJ.
I didn't think so either.
Or OS.
Yeah, well, of course I gotta talk to a brick wall. Thanks, good General Kaiser.
Sorry, I'm
I'm
concentrating.
sorry to say again.
Clear some things up.
I was wondering, because Nam thinks that like the competition for the worst Star Wars movies between Last Jedi and Rise of Skywalker. I just wondered, like, I know a lot of people hate The Force Awakens, but is it like really any true competition between the three, or is like The Force Awakens just automatically better?
I'm not
Honestly,
sure.
I would like,
TFA is better.
yeah,
Like-
I would like to think that Force
I would say that
Awakens-
too.
It's marginally
Like,
better.
Yeah.
I would say like it has a good scene in it, which is more than I can say for the other two. Which is
Yeah,
like
there's not a
Ray's
single
introduction.
good scene in TLJ or the Rise of
No,
Skywalker.
there's not. It's all
Like-
bad.
Yeah, it's
I think the sequel trilogy is a masterpiece. No, of course not.
I think Finn was the only good time Finn was used greatly was TFA because the rest he just wasted him so badly.
I'm not dumb. Do I think The Last Jedi is the best Star Wars movie ever made? No, I don't. Do I
He
blindly
doesn't.
hate the prequels and fan?
Which is surprising, actually. I think it's like number 2, though.
well, then that's second best. So he's not exactly
Yeah, he's one of those
wrong.
people who thinks that Empire is the best.
Well, I mean, I also think Empire's the best, but I'm not gonna shit on everything else just to elevate that movie.
I
I
would say
disagree.
Revenge of the Sith would be the best one.
Yeah,
Easily.
Looking at it from a technical level, it's got the in terms of like plot, character, directing, editing, world building, continuity. It's kind of the best of the 6.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think honestly, if I say retrospect, basically, not my opinion. Empire's the best, but if it was my opinion, I say it's Phantom Menace.
Honestly, I
It's been
think
the
that
most Star Wars movie.
Phantom. That's actually it's either that or Revenge of the Sith.
Hmm.
It's like it may not be the best Star Wars movie, but it is the most Star Wars movie.
Yeah,
It's
it's probably
I would say like looking at it technically, it's either the worst or second worst of the original 6. It's kind of like it's kind of a tough choice between that and Return of the Jedi. But I don't know. Speaking of
Another
which,
doesn't
I
have
feel
any,
like
redeeming-
people
Sorry.
people are getting mad at Noms for like taking cheap shots at the Mandalorian, but I feel like in the past few videos he's done nothing but like trying to find a way to say that Return of the Jedi is just an okay movie.
yeah.
Like in episode 6 review of the Mandalorian, he's like, "Yeah, in Return of the Jedi, Boba Fett died. Speaking of Return of the Jedi, I think it's just an okay movie. It's adequate. It's fine." And then he was like in episode 8 review, he was like, "Oh yeah, I remember Luke from Return of the Jedi. Speaking of Return of the Jedi, I think it's like a 5 out of 10 movie." And then in his newest video, where he's like in his Revenge of the Prequels video, he's like, the actual worst Star Wars film is Return of the Jedi, which I think is just an okay movie. It's like, holy crap, man. Get a subject change.
Yeah,
Sure,
it kind of seems
he
like
might
honestly,
be.
like he needs
be forgetting what
to
he's talking
talk other
about.
stuff like that isn't Return to Jedi Mandalorian. Legit.
He could say what he wants about the Mandalorian. I'm surprised he keeps finding new ways to talk about Return of the Jedi.
The Mandalorian.
True.
Boy, and the sequels?
the-
No, I love them both. I just really love the sequel trilogy because I love Star Wars so much.
That's kind of a poison
Hmm.
mindset to have. But,
Yeah.
alright.
Can we get a consumer in the chat?
Consume.
Consume.
Yeah, the
Consume
characters,
Then
the
get,
plot,
like,
the dialogue,
product.
the acting, all that. That might not be very good, but it's Star Wars, man.
Consume
It
product.
Sound like
It's got that trademark with 2 words and 8 letters that spell out Star Wars, so it must be enjoyable.
right.
This is why Disney Plus just released 10 different fucking things for Disney Plus, because they realized that we'll just buy anything with Star Wars on it.
The Mandalorian.
They're making a female-centric show about some random Sith user that showed up like 50 years before the Phantom Menace, and you think everybody would just jump on that as something really stupid, but no, everybody's gonna go watch that.
Yeah,
I'm being honest.
sounds about right.
Definitely should have been about Ventress, not some random Sith user.
Yeah, I mean, if it was about Ventress, I might actually watch it because she's not a terrible character.
Yeah, she
terrible.
actually does have some good potential. You know.
Yeah, I mean, like, she was decent in Star Wars Clone Wars. She had a character arc, which is more than I could say about literally anybody in the sequel trilogy.
Yeah.
And I feel
I mean, I
a lot
guess
of
apart
good to
from,
start.
like Jake Skywalker, but I mean,
Jake.
then
Is that an arc, or is that Ryan Johnson forcing the character to do things?
I think
I
it's
think
a
it's-
forced arc.
I think it's both.
It's
Oh my god.
pretty much a forced arc.
Yeah, it's not as good as, but like, to be fair, to be better than Jake Skywalker, you need to be better than like a 2 out of 10 character, and I don't think that's very hard.
Oh, it's hard.
Yeah.
It's
Star
difficult.
Yeah,
Wars.
it's
How I
hard.
do for the
You
rest
need
of
to
Star
be
Wars,
likable.
and what so many people do excessively for the prequels.
I don't
I tend to
really
ignore.
care too much about Cassian Andor from Rogue One. You know, I really, yeah, he's getting a show.
Oh yeah, he's getting his own show too.
Oh,
Oh boy, I'm
Yeah,
so
really-
excited for the show about the random guy from Rogue One that's had like a good 20 lines.
Yeah, I know. Like that would be so.
It'd be so cool. But guess what? I don't care.
I don't care.
Ignore the obvious negatives of the movies and focus on what makes them really good.
Hmm.
Also in the show, there's gonna be an Ahsoka and Obi-Wan. They're getting their own
No,
show.
no.
I feel that's 10 is way too many shows. I think. At least 2 or 3 could be suffice.
I mean, they want to make it the Marvel Cinematic Universe. So,
Yeah,
not a-
but that's way too much still.
An attack against Anomaly Inc.
And
We've already
shows
done that and we settled it.
like they literally did in the MCU phase. Like they slowly developed everything, and then did the whole stuff. The Avengers. They're just not do. They're just doing the Avengers first, and then the characters second. With something the DCU did until like Wonder
Oh,
Woman.
no.
Where's the link?
Alright, everyone mute CEO, please. In case he says some racist stuff.
Never say some racist stuff. All the things I say are not racist.
are you sure about that? Your name,
Yeah.
your
right
name
about
was
that, bro.
literally.
I sell racism, but I am not.
Yeah, I know. I know.
Anyways, where's the link?
Okay,
one
guys,
of you
invite
DM it to me.
CEO to the group chat and invite
Alright,
Oliver.
yeah, I'll go ahead and
You guys can do that.
I'll try and invite him. Hang on a second.
As long as you're friends with him, invite them.
Oh, never mind. I need to send him a friend request.
Yeah, I hope I didn't interrupt the stream.
Oh, you heard about the disaster stream?
What?
No,
Oh yeah.
Very last stream.
Yeah, I know you're streaming.
You are 2 steps away from getting permanent.
Permaban
From the server.
And
you fucking retard.
oh yeah. Can I tell y'all something
I'm
about?
so
Okay.
sorry.
We continue now.
Oh wait.
So
hold
you
on.
know.
Alright, yeah, let's get going.
Use ORX or something like that. Alright.
Video is just a good way for me to talk about the sequel trilogy and try to help people see the better parts of the Disney movies. Just like what Anomaly Inc. does for the prequels with his Revenge of the Prequel series. We're both passionate about Star Wars and want to end the endless
Yeah,
hate.
I'm sure that they're comparable in their quality.
Yeah, and I'm
Yeah.
fairly certain that
Yeah, maybe they
they're
are,
maybe
but you know,
copies.
that's going to be really, really difficult to prove.
What's this beloved
Get
series?
out of
Also,
here.
Also, I know
Stop talking over each other.
I was about to say that. Oh,
Sorry, my little cousins were in my room.
stupid fucking Zoomers.
You're zooming, man. Anyways, yeah, I
No,
don't
he
think
is 300
think
years
you're
old.
going to be able to show. Just see how long this video is. It's 18 minutes, and you're supposed to show that the prequels are good in 18 minutes. I mean the sequels. Sorry, I had a.
Well, I mean, he kind of does it over a series of videos. For this one, he is basically saying that The Last Jedi is not the worst Star Wars movie, or neither is Rise of Skywalker, and that's a really uphill battle.
Yeah. Okay. Let's just get into the
some
video.
of you,
You know, I
actually
don't
probably
think we have
most of you,
to
will dislike and attack me before I even start my arguments because how could Disney ever have
Oh, I
done
think
anything
Nicholas
good?
said something.
Wow, you're a wizard or psychic Nostradamus man.
This used to be the guy who I'd team up with
For Star
destroy
Wars.
the Inc again,
And I'm
but
fine
then
with that.
He defended the prequels. Fuck him. Okay. Okay, Adam.
Okay.
Adam.
Adam,
That
Okay,
should
who's
be the
the
new
who's
meme.
the
It's like okay boomer, but it's okay Adam.
Yeah, Adam is my.
That could be the new thing now.
so I know what Adam is. I know exactly what he's saying. I already commented on it. Like,
are you gonna get into the watch together?
yes, I'm gonna get it to watch together. So I want to speak
Also,
a bit.
you also need to make an account so that we know it's you. Wait, fuck.
Don't worry,
There you
I already know who it is.
I kind of changed my profile pic from the random P to an Ahsoka picture.
You need to make an
Okay.
account for that. But it's fine. Let's just continue.
Anyways, let's continue. I
Yeah.
think they don't want to hear us, man.
Yeah, didn't want to hear us.
Tell me that I'm glad to provide this medium for you to gain catharsis for your insecurities. But to those who are prepared to listen to another person's opinions, even if you don't,
Did you
then
just
you're
say
welcome.
person says?
And don't be afraid to.
That was a joke. Like,
Who's echoing?
that was a joke.
All right.
Counter me in the comments
Not
if
me.
you disagree. As long as it's not malicious, I will take you seriously. Alright, now I've gotten all this off my chest, we're ready to move on with the video.
Looking back, would you change anything in your script, or do you stand by all your choices?
Nope, stand by every choice.
I really
Oh yeah.
Yeah, imagine me
when he
just
said,
Part of this video.
is there any criticism you
Empire was not roasted
valid?
back in the day.
No criticism, no.
don't see what you're saying here. Why would he want to change his film? He worked on it for months upon months and made it as
Okay, that's really bad. You know, I think the directors of the Super Mario Bros. Film really regretted making that film.
George
Special.
Yeah.
Joe Schumacher actually apologized for doing Batman and Robin.
George
Yeah,
Lucas
Well,
probably
that's right.
that's-
George Lucas
Ryan's
probably
never
feels
gonna do
sorry
that
for Howard the
because-
Duck.
I mean, George Lucas spent like months upon months on making his OT films, and that he remade those. Are you saying that George Lucas just isn't proud of his work, and that's a bad thing, or maybe?
No. What he's saying is that you, if your film is good, I honestly don't know what he's trying to say.
I mean, like, I think that good creators engage with their content and try to improve them, even if it's beyond the point of when they're within theaters. Like, no directors think that their film is perfect. That's just a bad mindset to have.
Making a film for yourself. is
Except
such
for
a
Ryan
stupid
Johnson,
thing
of
that
course.
You always
know,
didn't watch
that's-
together.
Oh, hi.
Guys, remember,
So,
making
hi,
a film for
dealer.
yourself is bad.
Where's the watch together? Where's the watch together link?
Now, Poop Dealer, you gotta.
It's like,
We have way too many
quiet as
people
hell.
in NBC right now. Like way too many fucking people. Oh my god.
Anyways, let's just continue because that point was just if we linger on that point, it's gonna get
Yeah, it's gonna be.
Except-
We're
it's
together,
gonna
but
break
hey,
our
watch together
minds.
link.
Yeah, all right.
It's just really
Another-
bad, It's a
podcast.
really bad
What does that mean?
point that he made.
It's
What
wrong.
does that mean?
It's raw.
It's wrong.
It's raw.
It's wrong.
It's wrong.
Okay, I'm gonna play some.
Yeah, guys, we really do need to stop talking over each other. Because even the right dragon is roasting us in the comments right now. So if the right dragon.
Don't you mean the live chat?
Open Discord for some reason to turn.
I really don't care.
Oh.
As best as possible. He's a director who cares deeply about his craft, so if he released it, then he'd be happy with it. Also, showing a list of YouTubers who have dissed the movie.
Okay.
That doesn't mean.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure JJ didn't like his film.
Yeah, JJ. I'm pretty
yeah.
sure he hated Rise of Skywalker.
Yeah, if JJ liked TOJ, he could retcon almost everything about it.
Yeah, I mean, what is it? JJ said, if you like Rise of Skywalker, I am grateful yet dubious of your taste. Like, he doubts people who like the Rise of Skywalker. He's like, do you really exist? I don't think you do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
like
people do things for money that they don't
ever. I have no idea what he's trying to say here.
Yeah, okay.
Just be
It's
thankful
good to be
for
back in
movie.
this podcast.
It's good to have you.
You
Isn't
get
really
to
an
watch
argument
colors, okay?
as to why he should change his film. He's a professional director and writer who has really good material under his.
Professional.
Sorry, Gilman.
Fucking professional.
I
Professional.
have to
This is the
say,
guy who made.
Turf.
This is the guy who made The Force Awakens.
If you
No,
if you are
that's a
watching
different guy.
Turf, hold on, guys. Turf. If you end up watching this podcast, please look at Ryan Johnson's tweets on Twitter. I guarantee you, he's not a professional.
Yeah, same goes for filming.
Even worse than that, he says right after this, he has a lot of very good material under his belt. He made one good movie.
he made the
maybe 1.5.
he made the
Sorry,
best
Looper is
episode of
trash.
Breaking
Looper is
Bad.
garbage. It's not a good
Stop
movie.
talking
It's
over each
trash.
other.
Yeah, Brick. Like Brick is the one good film.
Brick is good, but Looper is overrated trash.
Yeah, Looper is-
People suck it off.
Knives Out is terrible. And then he also made
Yeah.
fine.
Stop talking through each other.
Yeah, people do actually do that a
Yeah,
lot.
okay.
So before
Yeah,
we continue, I'm gonna say something for Mr. Infamous. He says I have the worst mic. Well, you don't have a good mic either, Mr. Infamous. You have a terrible mic too.
He has a better mic than you do.
Yeah, Infamous actually is a pretty good.
Kind of dish coming from him.
He's just
Mike has
he doesn't
Infamous has a good mic. It just cuts out too much.
like Infamous just can't talk is the thing. He doesn't know how to spell subtleties or say it.
Maybe he said that on like.
Is that what it's subtle?
Pretty quickly understand they're so incredibly fucking smart. They can notice the little subtleties in the videos that makes them good.
Shit.
At least we know what Oliver is saying.
Yeah, I
Material
know.
under his belt.
People
It's a
think
bunch
they're
of
so
YouTube
clever that they can find subtleties.
Videos won't necessarily prove his filmmaking wrong.
Star Wars The Last Jedi at release was polarizing at best and utterly despised at worst, and not without good reason.
Not really. At best, there were people who loved it, and at worst, yeah, it was utterly despised.
That's what he said.
Yeah, so Polo.
What?
Well, I mean, see, Turf,
You're
the thing
wrong.
is that when
You're
he
wrong.
says, like when he talks about
No,
being
he's right
divisive,
because
when
he
he
just.
talks
Okay, so I don't think everyone he can't be wrong because then that would mean Anomaly's wrong. And
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I don't. I mean,
I liked the movie when I first
Nation
saw
said
it.
that Anom
That was because
That would also mean
There
that
is a
Standards for
difference.
movies.
There is a difference between being, I guess, just being divisive and being hated. Turf. And when you are divisive, it means that a lot of people hate it and a lot of people love it. That's what that means. It's controversial.
Yeah. But he literally just said, "No, Noms, you're wrong. This is what actually happened." And then he just repeated what Nom said. Like,
Yeah, I mean, he basically repeated, the divisive nature of it, I guess. But
verbatim, almost.
And it's not without
Yeah.
good reason, already shows your viewpoint on the movie, and therefore a bias when evaluating which movies are the best and which are the worst.
you have a
So
bias.
bias
against,
invalidates
I
that
guess.
you're biased. You
I
actually
don't understand. In order to decide which one is the best and which one is the worst, you have to acknowledge that one is going to be better than another. So of course there was going to be a good reason in his eyes for thinking that a movie is bad.
all of his
Well,
arguments are absolutely
I have no idea how that's indicative of a bias.
You mute the bot now.
Yep. There we go.
Okay, I got rid of the bot.
I mean, I don't get it, man. So, you're trying to discern which one's the worst? Well, you said The Last Jedi is the worst, so you're biased. Ha! You're banned. Screw you.
Okay,
The good general, please don't do that.
That clip's so good though. Gordon Ramsay screaming raw.
But that's,
Make no mistake,
against-
the hatred for The Last Jedi, helmed
True.
by an individual who didn't care about the law, openly lashed out at the fans, and funded by a liar and a corporate entity that disrespected the original creator, absolutely deserves the hate.
There's so much wrong with this whole statement, just in terms of ethics. But this is not a moral
Ethics?
attack on Anomaly, so I won't go into much detail.
okay,
Go into much detail about it.
that's
I'm go-
yeah. Okay, well,
Why say the statement if you're not going to go into it?
Yeah.
Ryan knows jack shit about the lore. He's that idiot who sparked the lie that The Empire Strikes Back was hated on first release, which is a bold-faced lie if you do one Google search.
Yeah, like, critics are divided on it. Critics. Who cares about critics? Audiences absolutely love The Last Jedi. This is like essentially reverse Last Jedi, where it's like, oh yeah, guys, the audiences might be divided, but the critics, they love it, and
The critics
well,
don't know any of
airborne.
Well, the critics
Airborne,
don't
that
know
was the
jack
same
shit. I don't know what the
reception
fuck
for
you're talking
Cube.
about.
I don't
Like the critics
I
absolutely
don't base
love it.
reviews off of critics since they gave fucking Pewdies at 89% tomatoes on Rotten Tomatoes.
Oh no, even before that. Trust me.
Yeah,
I mean, the score for Last Jedi and Rotten Tomatoes has only gone down since The Last Jedi. I'm pretty sure that like opinion on Empire Strikes Back only went up.
I
Like,
think you're what?
Initially, critics were like, maybe this film isn't as good as the first. But then, like, after like a good couple years, everybody loved The Empire Strikes Back
Yeah.
Yeah, that is
because it's a
true.
good film.
Yeah. Just took a while.
I'm going to
Yeah,
say
you can't say that.
I'm not even gonna mention
You
the
can't.
whole Captain Marvel Rotten Tomatoes thing,
Ugh.
where they fire people because they dared have a belief.
Captain Marvel, that was such an embarrassment.
Yeah. It was
Ryan is a human being, and anyone would retaliate.
Someone has a child whining in the background.
Whose mic is that?
There we go. I muted him.
Who was doing that?
CEO.
That was CEO.
All right.
Millions of people are attacking him.
We are not
Even
doing
you.
that.
I completely believe that Ryan Johnson cares deeply for Star Wars and honestly tried to make the best movie that he possibly could.
He didn't say that he didn't
Why
care about
else
Star
not?
Wars. He just didn't say that he cared about the lore. That's very different.
yeah.
And I told you, Ryan, you gotta think about the fans. And you said, no, we gotta.
The Empire Strikes
You
Back
gotta be specific.
wasn't loved on first release.
Like let's. I mean, if I guess like George Lucas. I mean, if you could say, oh, he doesn't care about dialogue that much. That doesn't mean he doesn't care about the entire art of filmmaking. It just means he doesn't really care about dialogue, which I don't even think is true. But you could say that and still assert that he cares about movies.
Okay, so
It's incredibly manipulative in terms of how you're framing Anomaly's arguments here.
Yeah, it's kind
Yeah,
of
Pretty
bro.
slow, man.
right now.
But I repeat myself because you've been doing this since the first video you made on him.
Just look at
There's
Ryan's
the one that
Twitter. Look at
Yeah, I
Ryan's
mean, the only
Twitter.
difference is
I
that
don't
he's
want
not
to look
calling
at
us down.
Ryan's Twitter.
No,
Twitter is
look at
already too
look.
tough.
Just look at one tweet. Just look at one tweet. You see how much of a passive aggressive asshole he is.
I think it's just aggressive. I don't even know about passive aggressive.
Well, see,
Okay, let's
there's
continue.
a
You
difference
know.
between
against people's
passive-aggressive and then there's
expectations,
blips.
saying he deserves the hate
Shut up.
is maybe a bit
You
too
know,
far.
Poop
So we
Deal-
have episodes 8 and 9. Both of them are dreadful movies, but which is the worst?
I like how this video is called the worst Star Wars movie, but it's really just the worst sequel movie. You can definitely think
That's the same thing.
one of these movies.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the same
Yeah,
thing, dude. In this
That is
context.
literally the exact same thing.
Yeah.
I think it's pretty clear that Noms thinks that either one of these is the worst Star Wars film. So he's just deciding between these two. Like, I think
Is
that's
that
just
really
kind of
that hard?
that's kind of a given. If you're gonna say, "Oh, what about the other 7 Star Wars movies?" Like, I mean, he could have made a video about all 7. So I take his words with a grain of salt, I guess. But he's just talking about these two.
I think you mean with a grain of crate.
Also gonna say something. I think TR is worse than TOJ.
No, we don't.
Great.
We don't call them. Actually, we call Dirt Earth. but,
Salt.
you know, that's a story for another time.
He's
These
worse
movies.
objectively.
This
The Rise of
Star-
Skywalker is objectively worse than The Last Jedi.
Okay,
Anyway,
Yeah, by a little
Poop Deal.
let's continue, please.
It's worse, but it's like it doesn't really matter, you know. Like,
Yeah, I mean, like deciding whether Rise of Skywalker or Last Jedi is worse. That's like deciding how you want to die. In the end, you're still getting killed. It's just one might be less
Sure.
painful than the other.
Wars movie, and taking into consideration anything else, shows a bit of a shallow analysis, and I think this is a general problem with Star Wars fans nowadays, prequel lovers and sequel lovers. It's that they're all tainted with bias and nostalgia, and no consideration
The
or even
sequels haven't
acknowledgement
the
of
sequels haven't been
of other people's opinions
The,
is
se-
given.
Okay,
the sequels have not been
playing.
around long enough to even have nostalgia.
All right.
I mean, this.
I do think.
I mean, it's a really bad argument for one reason, and that reason is that he doesn't provide evidence to where his Noms is tainted with nostalgia.
Well, no, he's just saying it because Noms disagrees with him.
Yeah, that's my
Have
only
different
theory.
opinions
That's
than
the
me.
entire reason.
True. Yeah,
Nostalgia.
the whole reason.
Nostalgia. Credit.
Always the fantastic
Nostalgia critic.
disappointing thing, my son.
Star Wars or Phantom Menace?
Is Turf Nation the new nostalgia critic? Yeah.
Is given, which just
You know,
creates
like-
this endless battle of hate and malice. Alright, but now let's hear his reasonings.
Both the movies inject forced political nonsense that were not intended for narrative purposes, but rather for the public image.
Does Rise of Skywalker really do that beyond that weird lesbian kiss that lasted 5 seconds?
No.
No.
I don't even know.
Black woman.
I actually think I have to disagree with Noms here.
Airborne. Black woman.
Ew, black
Black
women.
women. Political.
What the fuck? What does that have to do?
Last Jedi, no doubt. Like, Phantom Menace is just a huge capitalism bad. Save the animals, guys, please. Like, that's no doubt political, but I don't think that Tross is political beyond that stupid lesbian kiss.
Well, I mean, like when we were
Maybe that's what
when we were watching The Last Jedi, me and Replica just commented on how many black people were in the film and how it was annoying him. So, you know.
Lupus said CEO.
Oh my god.
What the fuck? Okay.
Replica. I just imagine like Replica's like an old man sitting on the television. And he's like, "Honey, why are all these blacks on that Star Wars movie?"
No, okay.
Okay.
Poop could probably
all right.
in a better way than I can.
We're past the point.
The last anti-capitalist Canto Bite sequence, its heavy diversity quota that it tried to fulfill, and feminist archetype character Admiral Holdo are clear enough evidence of that.
I just want to say, I think it's really cool that Knobs is playing Fallen Order during this. It's like an awesome game.
Yeah, Fallen Order is awesome.
Like, I will give Disney shit to no end, but Fallen Order was fucking awesome.
I mean, the Phoenix and Ferb Star Wars special is also epic.
Yeah, but that was kind of like before Disney went completely whack with like the whole Force Awakens thing.
Wasn't it like the second or first thing they did with Star Wars?
I thought it was 2014, or it was that or 2015.
It's a masterpiece.
No,
it is a masterpiece.
For special.
Probably the only masterpiece, the only thing I could call under Disney a masterpiece, which is still somewhat a stretch considering it's Disney.
See what's wrong with social commentary movies. The Last Jedi definitely focus on story rather than politics and social commentary, but that doesn't mean they can't have.
What?
Someone has a go in the background.
No, the problem with it was that okay, imagine if in The Godfather, the Vito man just turned to the camera and said racism bad.
I mean, that's basically what they do in life. Like, The Last Jedi it might not always be social commentary, but Jesus Christ, Ryan is just beating you over the head with messages. Just like, he can't let you think about the movie, he has to tell you what the movie is about.
Alright, sorry.
Just like...
Luke's character assassination.
People fail. Capitalism bad. We have to save the animals. Don't fight what you hate. It's okay to run sometimes. It's like... He cannot let you engage with his own movie. He just has to tell you what's going on. Otherwise, he thinks he'll just get bored or something.
With the modern system, I think that's the accurate description, but that's not here or there.
And have deeper themes about human nature.
Luke's character assassination can be described as a guy saying that rape is bad and standing against rape, but then you find out he's been raping people.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if he was just raping one of the.
And then he tries to atone.
Okay. Anyways, yeah.
And then he tries to atone for sexual assault by like saving a kid's balloon.
Right.
Anyway, yeah. Imagine if okay, that would be weird if the Ewoks in Return of the Jedi spoke Vietnamese. And you had like an environmental message about how
black people are in the trees.
No, it's not like that. It's just
okay. Shut up.
You shut up.
What the fuck is happening? Please continue. Jesus.
Canto Bite, yes, it has some weird character development for Finn and CGI chasing, which is out of place. But the actual planet of Canto Bite and the whole commentary and lore and motivation really is the problem.
Can we continue or what?
We are continuing.
Yeah, it's a problem though.
All right, hang on a second.
It's a problem because they were, they just have a bunch of rich people who it just raises a bunch of problems. A bunch of rich people who have been just murdered by the government.
If I was being honest, Canto Bite could have been explored more instead of just being just a random map.
Canto Bite was terrible. It was unneeded. It was terrible. And most of it is just tit monsters with tits as a special feature or some shit.
No, that was the other island.
Still on Canto Bite.
No, that wasn't on Canto Bite. That was on the other island.
War is bad.
Yeah, we can all agree that war is bad.
Can we continue?
I'm surprised that
hear something. I feel like you guys can't hear me.
No, we can't hear you. We
Yeah,
didn't
I
mean
can
to say
hear
that.
you.
Look, I would just like to say, let's just
It's only
look at
if you
every.
begin to focus on it.
I wanna say, let's just look at every single problem that Cantabite brings up real quick, or at least the big ones. For starters, people don't use droids anymore. They just hire random child slaves. Not even adult slaves, just like child slaves. Even though they're the richest people in the galaxy.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Why is Rose? Why is Rose telling Finn that Roy's bad?
Maybe it's like an airborne.
They can't afford mass slavery. Only like 5 child slaves for some reason. They can't hire like
maybe it's
the
like
best
an
droid
Epstein
possible. They decide to like watch horse races for absolutely no reason, and then the social commentary of like saving animals completely annihilates Finn's character because instead of saving the children slaves, something he was at some point, he just decides to like save these random animals. So the social commentary is a problem. It
Anyways, yeah,
absolutely assassinates Finn's character more than it already has been.
Yeah, okay, airborne. Airborne. It might be like the Epstein type thing where they have to have child slaves in order to be part of the club. You know.
That's true. I mean, fair enough. But like, there's only 5 on the entire planet, or something like that. I think there's actually only 3.
Those child slaves are really busy.
There's 3 child slaves running an entire goddamn underground horse race fucking thing.
Yeah,
just hire.
Oh, well, wait. Why does Rose tell him war is bad? Like, fucking, I hate
that too.
I hate to use a cosmonaut point, but it makes. I hate to give cosmonaut credit, but Finn knows that war is bad, yet he still engages in war in the next 2 movies.
Yeah, he engages in war in all 3 movies, even though he should be completely appalled by it. And then he is told by some random engineer that war does bad things to people.
The irony of somebody who went.
It's not like Finn didn't see one of his brothers get killed in The Force Awakens.
That's fucking awesome.
By the way,
Oh man, he was just mad that he didn't take more people. He didn't go bombing.
No, we can't hear you.
Oh yeah, this is like literally the worst. I don't understand.
It's only
okay. Anyway, no, I'm kidding. Sorry. All right, let's continue.
a problem if you begin to focus on it more than the story, and it doesn't.
But the social commentary is part of the story. It even drives the story. Like, Ryan puts his message over his narrative in order to push his own narrative. How can you?
Yeah, man. Imagine if, like, the whole plot of the movie was, that would actually make a good movie if they tried to stop, from melting or something. No,
I can't imagine if Star Wars was good.
ice caps. I can't imagine if you. Okay, is there anything else you want to say about this?
Just continue, guys.
Just continue, please.
Yeah, just continue.
Star Wars can have themes again. Interesting. Also, I've never seen Holdo as a feminist character.
There's a difference between having themes in your movie and
this reminds me, I was in Turf Serve and they said that Holdo wasn't a fucking SJW feminist type message bullshit.
That is a lie.
But like,
the entire point of Holdo's character is basically to push that strong female message bullshit. That's your entire point of her character.
Ryan admits that he has a feminist film agenda. Like he literally says it on Twitter. But he likes promoting politics in his movies. I don't see how you could possibly reconcile that.
Yeah, I mean, he literally says that sort of.
He openly admits that he puts politics in his films, but no, I guess not, because I didn't see it that way. It's
Well, I mean, just because you didn't see it that way doesn't mean it wasn't there.
I'm sure if you asked Ryan, hey, your politics in your movie, you'd be like, yeah, there is a lot.
Yeah, he would be like, "Oh yeah, I totally put politics
This
in there."
time,
It's not like it's subtle or anything. It's not like he's trying to fly it under the radar or if he gets to do a terrible job at it.
okay.
God, Ryan's just the worst.
Yeah, can I say a hot take? I don't hate Rose Tico except the scene that she says spin. I hated
Mark's
every
having a different opinion.
She's just so bad. I can't stand her in any scene that she's in.
It's
Sexist.
not about. It's not about saving what.
It's not about fighting what we hate. It's about saving what we love. Also,
Kill you, not
everybody
saving what we
can die.
love.
While also letting our friends die.
It's
You
not
almost
about defeating the enemy in a war. It's about saving people because you want to kiss them.
And also feeding them body bags of the other side.
Oh my god!
In The Last Jedi, that scene where Finn's about to
You are literally feeding the Empire your corpses just by doing that. Like, you do fucking realize that.
You might as well just shoot yourself in the head.
Yeah, I mean, you might as well
can I
do that.
say something again?
Yeah,
before.
Yeah.
You know what should have been the worst Vatican? Finn should have said that to Poe instead of having him suffer to Hodo.
Honestly, even that would be kind of weird because you would think that such a distinguished commander like Poe Dameron would understand the complexities of a war. I guess it might work, but you would really have to make Poe's like naivete convincing. Because because he like resists torture from Kylo Ren for like a good 20 seconds. It's like this guy's clearly hardened. Kind of a badass. Like this guy knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
But no,
what
he's
exactly did he like? He's just not allowed to do anything right in the sequel trilogy, apparently. Like he's
in the
not allowed
last
to do anything right.
in The Last Jedi, that scene where Finn's about to risk his life to save the Resistance. I was enjoying The Last Jedi for that moment, but then Rose just had to come and ruin the scene like she does every other scene. Which just fueled my hate for Rose more.
Let's continue.
Yeah, let's.
Her role in this makes sense to me. The fact that this new admiral is someone we've never seen before makes the audience distrust her, and therefore this whole Poe versus Holdo moral battle has us more on our seats, especially when we realize Poe, our hero, was wrong for being too brash and too quick to judge.
He's not wrong though.
He's not was also wrong for not telling her men anything.
Come on, man. You gotta be kidding me.
If there was like a spy in the, so I can understand it. Like if there was that was set up.
It's fucking stupid.
Yeah, but
It's way just been Admiral Akbar. And yes, Holdo isn't a perfect character. That's the whole point of a good character. She could have been more thoughtful when keeping the plan from her crew, and she could have told Poe about the plans, but
she could have told them anything and decided not to because she's a terrible leader.
Yeah, she's a terrible, terrible leader. Also, I gotta go back a bit because I just heard something very stupid. Like, I think I heard Holdo is better than Akbar, which is a lie. We all know.
No.
Akbar would be better.
Man, can't believe they killed Akbar.
I even like how he just dies off screen.
Oh yeah, hold up.
Like they didn't even give Akbar a good send off. He just dies off screen.
Apparently, the actor for Akbar cried.
Yeah, he did.
He passed away. Like Ryan said, it was a good send off to his character, but I don't.
So that's two actors who cried when their character was being assassinated. Mark Hamill and the guy who played Admiral Akbar.
Yeah, it's bad.
she really didn't have reason to. there was a possible spy on board, so she couldn't really trust anyone. And also,
Yeah, but
Poe
if
had
that
just
was
gotten
set up-
demoted.
But why would Poe be the spy? Didn't he literally just, keep the entire ship from being destroyed? in
Yeah,
the
didn't
previous
they-
Only that,
war?
Like if the spy
Not only
thing
that,
was
but
set
he
up,
mourned-
then yeah, would make sense.
he mourned Paige's death too. So, how does that make him a spy exactly?
If it's set up- if it was set up that there was a spy, then it would have made sense. But it was.
See, like, I'm
Yeah, Hux being a
and-
spy
and, like,
was also
like,
never set up.
what payoff do we get from that setup, by the way?
None.
I can't recall.
There
a
wasn't a
spy.
setup to begin with.
Like, I couldn't even recall that there was a spy in that movie. Or was it that, that guy that was picked up in Canto Bight who was stuttering a lot? I mean, I understand that he was a spy, but he didn't exactly have any ties to the Rebel Alliance, is what I'm just going to call
He
it.
didn't even get to the Rebel Alliance yet.
Like, whatever. Let's continue.
Trust them. I like the character. Social commentary in movies isn't bad if it's done well.
But it wasn't done well. Like, that's the thing. It was like, it was in your face, and it was shoving it down your throat. Almost
You
the
need to
entire time.
understand. You need to understand this. I'm saying, you have to understand this theme.
Like, you absolutely need to understand the theme, even if there's no hidden subtleties.
So after this, he mentions the same-sex kiss from The Rise of Skywalker, which really just isn't a criticism, because it's one frame.
How is it not a criticism? If I recall correctly, it was in the American version, but they cut it out of the Japanese version. For what reason? I wonder why.
It was the Chinese version. It was the Chinese version that was cut out, not the Japanese version.
Yeah, the American version. I wonder why.
Yeah.
Honestly, it was kind of it was honestly an addition that wasn't necessary.
It doesn't take anything from the movie, and honestly, saying it's a bad thing to include shows some elements of anti-LGBT. Even though
I mean, honestly,
man.
look, guys, I'm a bisexual, okay, and I am also anti-LGBTQ just because of how stupid most of the people in that group is. I don't need to be pandered to. I don't need to be represented. I want a fucking good movie. Period.
Yes.
That's all I want.
The problem with a lot of this stuff is that they're
What you saying?
focusing on pandering first, actual good movies second. That's why when something like Doom Eternal that just comes out and just says, basically holds the middle
Perfect.
finger to everything, it's just refreshing.
Like, should there be like a difficulty setting for for the Doom games where it's like LGBTQ and it's literally just nothing happening? It's a black screen, and then the credits.
Just the lowest difficulty for Doom games. It's just it just shows a black screen that text it you with.
Alright, what did I miss?
Nothing.
Stuff.
Your mom.
Happened. Anyway, let's continue.
You didn't
pretty
say
sure
anything
you're
that's
not.
stupid?
It just
No, we didn't say anything stupid.
Kaiser, is there any way you can turn your mic up? I cannot hear you that well.
Hold on. My volume's at 100%, but I can put it closer to my mouth.
I don't think it's gonna work. Let me see what I can do.
Okay. All right.
Sounds a little bit better.
All right. Okay, yeah, we're fine. All right.
makes it seem like
The Mary Sue criticism of Rey's character is very much prevalent throughout both films. Admittedly, The Rise of Skywalker does try.
Okay, I just want to say, please, in The Force Awakens, Rey, acts like she's never heard about a Jedi because she hasn't. She's been on Jakku for almost her entire life. So when she first finds out about the Jedi existing, not even a day after, she already knows how to use a Jedi mind trick. How is that not a Mary Sue trait?
Well, the best explanation I can provide is that she thought that everything that she heard was just fairy tales, but then when she found out that they were real, she was like, oh, Remember that? I remember hearing about that one thing called a Jedi mind trick, but that wouldn't explain how she knows everything about how it works.
The mind trick,
and that doesn't even
requires.
like that would require practice. I mean, if we look at Star Wars: The Clone Wars, like Ahsoka, the first time she used it, it was like 3 seasons in, and she said, "I don't know if this is gonna work, but I need to be able to I've been practicing it so that it might work." And then she almost screws up the entire mission because she almost fails to use her mind trick.
What's that line Ahsoka said in The Mandalorian? Training, it was something that was a middle figure to the sequel trilogy. What was it?
To wield the Force requires a deal of great training and discipline.
And Rey has none.
Yeah.
I listened to that. I listened to that line on repeat when I watched that episode of The Mandalorian. I was like, okay, the show's finally good.
Literally, I can just, just watch the entire sequel trilogy, and then just play that exact line whenever Rey does something.
Kaiser, please. Can somebody go on the Discord app and turn him up?
I can hear him just fine.
I cannot hear him just fine.
Well, then you're.
You sound like you connected to the call on your computer, which is why your microphone sounds worse.
Oh,
that's because I am on my computer.
That's better.
It's not you, Kaiser.
It's even better.
It does try to provide some validation for Rey's power, but she's still ridiculously overpowered, wins every battle on her first attempt, has characters just flock to her for no reason, both legacy characters and new ones.
Alright, now this is a topic I've covered a lot before, so I won't go into much detail. But essentially, yes, Rey is a Mary Sue, but so are so many other characters in Star Wars. Luke.
This is what I've been waiting for.
I love it.
This is what I've been waiting for.
This is what I was.
That's what I've been waiting for.
Play it.
Young Anakin, Han Solo to some degrees. They're all.
No.
Okay.
Okay. Han Solo in Solo, a Star Wars story, maybe. Han Solo in the OT, not at all.
I'm tired of people saying that because his character does something equals Gary Stu or Mary Stu. I'd say Anakin in The Phantom Menace. He's not a Gary Stu. It's just many of his actions are from convenience.
He's not great. I wouldn't call him a Mary Sue or a Gary Stu. Anakin Skywalker as a whole, like as the entirety of his character, absolutely not. The guy literally gets all of his limbs chopped off over the course of 3 years and is left to die in a pit of fire by his
Luke
friend.
Skywalker is the biggest example, all the way from...
He's a Mary Sue, though. Anakin's a Mary Sue just because he's a Mary Sue. And
Luke's character development all the way from A New Hope to Return of the Jedi, that development completely disproves him being a Gary Stu. If you watch the movie, you would know this.
But Luke actually has to depend on other people to accomplish his goals. Like if he couldn't fly to the Death Star by himself, he couldn't save himself from those bartenders, bar goers on Mos Eisley.
the criminals, yes.
He couldn't defeat the Emperor by himself, unlike somebody. He couldn't defeat Vader at all until Return of the Jedi when he had the ability to.
And by the way, he didn't go against his training.
With Gary too, he couldn't have spared Vader. But, he isn't a Gary Stu. So, his character developments.
The worst I can say about Luke Skywalker is that he is a little bit overpowered. That is
the universe.
But that's like one little thing over the course of
Anakin, kind of.
Anakin was the chosen one.
Right.
The most overpowered thing I've seen Anakin do is Force choke.
That's not really overpowered though. Force choke is really easy to do if you think about it.
Yeah, it's kind of.
What about it as a Jedi?
For somebody who has a lot of hate to do.
Yeah, anybody can use a Force choke, boot dealer. It's not hard. Just use the Force on where they breathe, on their cardiovascular system. It's not like a difficult technique. Nor does it require the dark side to use.
Yeah,
Like,
I think
Ahsoka
Jedi
uses
have
it as a defense mechanism in Star Wars: The Clone Wars Season 3 to incapacitate one of the Trandoshans. But then later, one of the younglings uses it, or I guess used to be a youngling. And then Ahsoka tells her, "Don't kill her out of hatred. It's not the Jedi way." So like, Ahsoka used Force choke, but only as a defense mechanism, whereas Khalifa, the youngling, used Force choke out of hatred for the Trandoshan. It's not like you can't use Force choke unless you're a Sith. You know what I'm saying?
No.
Yeah.
No. All right, then you're banned.
We're all extremely lucky, and sometimes are just really powerful for no explainable reasoning, other than pushing the plot forward, and that's perfectly fine.
Can you give an example or two, maybe? It's like one.
Yeah, like maybe
Give him a chance.
The Star Wars story doesn't need detailed explanations as to why people are...
Oh, see,
Stop.
so we're not gonna
He said they don't need.
I don't think we need detailed explanations. We just need to have a reason for things that happen in the script. Like, if Anakin tries to kill younglings, we want to know why, because otherwise it just feels like a portrayal to his character, because Anakin wouldn't kill younglings unless we had a reason for it.
And before any smartass in the live chat says this, there is a perfectly good reason that you can find in the previous fucking scene.
For why
I don't understand how people say that Anakin's turn was forced in Revenge of the Sith.
This doesn't just apply to like Mary Sue's or Gary Stu's. Literally, all payoffs should require setup.
Yeah.
That's just a thing in script writing. Like, if a droid dies, there should be a reason for it. The reason being it got hit by a laser or it got sliced up by a lightsaber. Like, just apply that on a grand scale to like plot and character elements, and you have yourself a movie. A good movie. It's really not that. It's not like it's hard to do. I'll admit but it's something that should be expected. If anybody could write good films, then we wouldn't be critiquing them all the time.
Yeah.
Powerful for us here. Oh, he has a lot of midichlorians. Okay, yeah, awesome. Oh.
What does that even entail? I mean,
I don't know.
Is he referring to like Anakin winning the pod race? Because having Jedi-like reflexes is an established trait within the Star Wars universe, and having higher Jedi-like reflexes than other people or other more Force-sensitive people is like that would just make you even better. Like,
there's a good way.
Anakin has pod raced before, so he has experience with it. He just never finished. It was only when Qui-Gon gives him a hint of advice that one, he does get kind of lucky, I'll admit, and two, he's able to win the race. Like, it's not like this comes out of nowhere. There are setups and there are payoffs for this. It's not just midichlorian count.
I'm just saying, Anakin destroying the Lucre Hulk and the Phantom Menace. It's not a Gary Stu moment. It's just more of a convenience.
I would say that's more incompetence on the Trade Federation's part for not having a viable defense for their core.
It's a little bit questionable, but I mean,
yeah, a little bit. It's not major when you consider the fact that they're not exactly a war vessel; they're just a trade vessel. But then you realize that they have their own private army and can take over an entire planet. So it's weird. It's not movie breaking.
True. Although I will
like Luke Skywalker, or sorry, not Luke Skywalker. Anakin Skywalker was not overpowered in that scene. He was just put in a scenario that probably just shouldn't have happened.
A midichlorian count is it is not like okay, hold on. So think of it like a power levels in in DBZ. It is the measure of potential. It is not an actual measure of power.
Right.
Because if you don't know what to do with that power, then you're just a dude with a high power level, and you're just like, oh, okay, well,
yeah.
I mean,
and the thing is, Anakin partook in activities that allowed him to use his high midichlorian count as an application.
For example, pod racing. You need very good reflexes to pod race. Anakin has a high midichlorian count, which entails very good reflexes. Therefore, Anakin can pod race.
Yeah.
It's not just it's a high midichlorian count, so it's all good. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, that's not what that is. You're being
Oh, he
very
did-
manipulative about this turf. Like,
This is I really hope that the people on Turf Nation who like me don't get mad at me for this.
Just believed that he could use the Force so he blew up the Death Star? Yeah, right, that scene was fucking awesome. Rey is a Mary Sue, but
What? How is that a Gary Stu moment?
I don't know. Doesn't make sense.
He just
do you not understand that Obi-Wan coaxed him into doing that?
Pretty much, yeah.
Like, he obviously had influence from Obi-Wan, so it wasn't just Luke. Like
it was just having really well-tuned instincts. That's all it was.
Yeah. And not to mention,
Which is something that he learned he could do back in the training scene with the visor.
Yeah, it is true. He did train.
I mean, is it a bit overpowered that he can do the same thing? Maybe a little, but then again, you realize that he had a T-16 Skyhopper that he flew around in his in the canyons on Tatooine, in which he bullseyed swamp rats that weren't much bigger than 2 meters.
Yeah.
Admittedly, that's not a very strong not a very strong reason. It kind of comes across as an excuse, but it is there. Like if you just had Rey say, "Oh yeah, I trained at this random school where they taught you how to swing a staff," it's like, yeah, that's kind of lazy, but it's there now. You have the explanation.
Yeah, I mean, at least there would be some explanation as to.
And it's like it's kind of a thing where it's like nothing. I mean it is a little bit questionable as a moment, but there are multiple things that compensate for it in the script. It's not like Rey beat Kylo because he had an injury that didn't affect him in any way whatsoever. Plus, she swung a stick at some guy for 2 seconds.
Like Kylo. Well, let's set the record straight. Kylo was affected by it, but
was he though? He was.
I mean,
he was exerting himself pretty well, stretching his abdomen. Like he didn't have a wound. He was pulling off fancy smancy sword moves, and he could beat Finn while only toying with him.
Yeah, true.
It's like if it affected him, I have to wonder what Kylo was like when he's not injured. And we actually saw it in Rise of Skywalker. He's like 2% better.
Well, I wouldn't. I don't know that because it makes no sense that a guy trained by Palpatine. Makes no sense that a guy trained by Palpatine and Luke Skywalker gets beat by a girl who's never held a lightsaber in her life. And know that staff doesn't count.
But she beats you guys up with a stick.
Don't care. Staff is different. You cannot shrink a staff into a single-bladed saber like you can do a double-bladed saber.
Honestly, if there was a special edition, if there was like a special edition where they have Rey swinging a lightsaber around instead of a staff, it changes nothing because she barely even knew how to use that staff. She swung it around like a lunatic at 3 guys, and she got like a right cross to the face. I don't think that would happen if you were well trained. There were just some these are just some random guys, and she's like getting curb stomped, not curb stomped, like she's not doing very well against them. She has to like edge out her victory very slowly, and these are guys that are unarmed and very inexperienced. They're just goons.
True. So, are we saying that Kylo is as inexperienced as a goon? That's more of an insult. That's an insult.
Or I guess he's like the equivalent to 3 goons.
Right. And yeah, we never saw the potential for Snoke realized. I never got to see.
Except,
maybe he was 5 goons. Maybe he was 5 goons, and he was able to, just sort of teach Kylo how to be like 3 times stronger than the average person.
Oh my god! The thing is, it's even worse because at least the goons landed a blow on Rey. One punched her right in the face. Kylo couldn't land a single hit on her.
Yeah.
God, she's a pussy.
And as we know from the sequel trilogy, it's not like Kylo was pulling his punches as not to kill her, because lightsabers just don't kill people anymore.
Big Jack films this year.
Lightsabers are like baseball bats that have a lot of heat on them now.
Oh, Big Jack films.
Yeah. He's
What's
in
up, man?
Black chat right now. So, dude.
But in the context of Star Wars, it doesn't matter. And even then,
Why not? Why does it come to Star Wars? Like, what makes Star Wars so special that it doesn't get scrutinized?
Because
I mean, imagine if Star Wars was good.
Imagine if Star Wars was good.
Imagine. Like, there's no good Star Wars movies. Only the holiday special.
Yes.
Oh,
that is a fact. That is an objective fact.
That is an objective fact. And
I think that's your opinion, actually.
Okay, well then what's better than it, huh? The Lego Holiday Special?
The Lego Holiday Special is pretty good too, but I think the OG Holiday Special is just, that one's good. That was just really good.
I mean, the Lego Holiday Special, it kind of makes the character better than the movies. Like,
oh yeah, Rey's character is superior in the Lego Holiday Special than the actual.
How sad is that a Lego version of a character is better written than the movie version of a character?
It's a stupid parody that like had people with like 5 brain cells writing it, and it's still superior to
stupid parody written for children.
Honestly, I think all of the characters just improved better for the sequel trilogy because like they have more of the personality than just either action hero or I must do the right thing.
Guys, did you know that war is bad? Just letting you know that war is bad, guys. War is bad. War is bad.
But honestly, I don't understand like this weird like Star Wars is like sacred kind of mentality where it's like you just can't criticize it because it's so good. Like,
oh, hello, Mr. White Dragon.
Hello, you faggots.
Dragons. We don't like dragons. Get off the stream.
Banning you for being a dragon.
Hey, that's sexism right there.
Hey man, someone's mic is worse than mine. Yay, I totally love that. Can we
I'm not even
please
at home right now. Give me a break.
Faggot in the middle of the live stream, please. Can we continue the video, please?
Somebody invite White Dragon to the thing so we can put him in the watch together.
White Dragon, look in the special procedures, Poopy Man.
I just popped in here for a second only. I was at to say that freaking the Lego Rey. Yeah, that's like she's like a freaking gift character. Cause that's what they all are in those Lego movies, kind of like gift versions of their natural selves. And that's funny.
What do you mean? What do you mean?
The gift character version of Rey is actually far superior than the freaking sequels version.
Yeah, pretty much. All right, now get your terrible mic out of here.
It's like a bag of dicks.
But I don't really understand when people say it's Star Wars, so it doesn't really matter if the writing is bad, or it's Star Wars, it doesn't really matter if characters are overpowered. It's like Cosmonaut said this too. It's like Star Wars characters are really good at things because they're the main characters of a dumb action adventure franchise. It's like, what makes Star Wars different from like Harry Potter or Jason Bourne? Why do those franchises also not? Do those franchises not get a pass when it comes to bad writing, or do they? What about The Godfather? Say if somebody just filed like a massive plot hole in the film, does it get criticized or does it not? Like, what's the criteria here?
I mean, I really cannot. Okay, I can't imagine Star Wars being good.
Star Wars.
I mean, I made this comparison before. Like when someone says no one hates Star Wars more than Star Wars fans, I just reply with, nobody hates movies more than movie fans. And then it puts into perspective how stupid this statement is. It's just like, because people who hate movies or people are going to care about movies. See how people who hate Star Wars are going to be people who care about it.
Right.
I always assumed that was just really obvious, but obviously people just don't find it obvious. I said obvious 3 times for no reason. Obviously.
Yeah, I guess it's
yeah.
out to them, I guess.
Honestly, Last Jedi completely wasted Laura Dern.
I mean,
I really hope
Kaiser has just gotten quieter and quieter over this period of time. It's like his mic is slowly fizzling out.
Hello.
Hello. Let's continue.
It's a little bit better now. All right, let's keep going.
In The Force beats Kylo due to specific circumstances, and then in Rise of Skywalker, she loses to him.
Am I quiet or no?
Now, here's another. Actually, I mean, Rise of Skywalker has a reverse problem where we know that Rey is incredibly powerful in like literally every regard, but yet she loses to Kylo, who's like. I mean, to be fair, Kylo did survive one of the nastiest crashes in film history, so I guess he does have something going for him. I mean, seriously, like when he. Like, assuming that, like, the trauma of him getting knocked around in a starfighter didn't kill him, I'm surprised that massive explosion of that TIE fighter didn't kill him also. But I guess...
How did he not die?
Like, Kylo, I mean, honestly, Kylo kind of has a run. Kylo might have, like, in some ways, kind of could give Rey a run for her money. Like, we know from The Last Jedi that he kills like 30 different students on his own. Like, that's pretty crazy.
Well, I mean,
and he survives an explosion like that. I'm surprised that anybody in the sequel trilogy ever dies. Because they're just all really fucking good at things.
Yeah, I used to believe all my surprise because I was surviving an explosion.
Or Leia kicks in. Mary Sue's are a staple of Star Wars, so just fucking move on.
No.
Live chat, please. Read live chat.
I'm just gonna say this. They're fucking no. They're not.
Big Jack Films, in case you're wondering. Sequel trilogy was a total unplanned mess. Oh, and Big Jack Films saying, I am one of the biggest defenders of the Phantom Menace.
I feel like he said that name sounds like somebody from TurfNation's server. The name is very familiar.
Alright, well, let's get moving.
The Lost also introduces the ability to light speed ram a Star Destroyer to death, which fucks up a ton of...
It's worse than that, Knobs. It's so much worse than that.
How
not only can you like light speed one quote unquote to death, but you can take out an entire fleet.
With
a little baby ass ship, like a tiny one.
Realistically, if you are a light speed ram, your body should be not only deformed, but you should be disintegrated.
I mean, honestly, like when we see, I'm not going to actually use this as evidence for anything because obviously you really shouldn't consider the TV shows when judging the films. But the Star Wars: The Clone Wars, when the Malevolence rammed into the moon, it just vaporized. It didn't cause like a crack in the moon. It just died. It just completely disintegrated, like Poop Mueller said. I mean, I always assume that's just what happened, but I guess not. Now you can just like cause massive kamikazes because you're moving fast.
What happened when it hit the moon? There's two ways how it exploded. It would have fucking broke through the fucking atmosphere and rammed right into the center of the moon, destroying everything on it.
Essentially, assuming that it even did go into hyperspace, which I think is still kind of a stretch. but like assuming it did, either it just burned up within the atmospheric layer of the moon, assuming that there is one, or it just vaporized entirely.
Space battle is dating back as far as the Phantom Menace. This, in actuality, ruins the stakes in space battles as a whole because it's essentially a one-hit KO weapon.
There has never been a situation where Full Star Cruiser should have tried this. Holdo's the only one on board, she has no idea if it'll work, and honestly, it's just one of the best visual scenes in...
Alright,
No,
well, how come... Why wouldn't she know whether it would work or not? Surely the technology of Star Wars isn't that stupid. I mean... Why wouldn't they, like, as we know, the wars of Star Wars have gone back at least 1,000 years before the Phantom Menace. Like, that is our baseline. 1,000 years of war. Like, 1,000 years back, there were wars. 1,000 years back, there was hyperspace. At least I'm pretty sure there was. There should have been. But even just saying that, like, hyperspace is just a new thing invented by the Phantom Menace, why wouldn't they know what happens when you hit something with a hyperspace? Why is this not a militarized option? Like,
you don't really have
none of the starfighters. I don't think any of the starfighters in the Phantom Menace are big enough to cause any real damage to the the droid control ship. But why not just have a ship that can do that? Why not just make a really? Sorry, what?
Nothing. It's fine. Just continue.
You right? Sure.
Yeah. Yes. Yes, I'm sure. Continue now.
Like in Attack of the Clones, when the Camino just made a bunch of military ships. Why didn't they make a really large, dense ship that could hyperspace ram through things? Surely that would be a really useful tool when the Separatists are escaping into hyperspace. Like, you just ram your ship through all of those Lucre hulks, and now you completely shut down the Separatist evacuation.
Yeah.
You win the Battle of Geonosis. If you have hyperspace. But no, we can't do that because guess what? It wasn't invented yet because Ryan Johnson is an idiot. I mean, Revenge of the Sith. Oh my God, a giant Separatist fleet is dropped out of hyperspace and they're about to obliterate Coruscant. No, it's cool. We have a hyperspace ship. Just blow up all the Separatist ships. It's that easy. Palpatine never gets captured. Anakin's character never develops. Episode 4. And the Rebels just had a really large, really dense cruiser to blow up the Death Star. No. Just disable the cannon on the Death Star. You don't even have to blow it up. Just disable the cannon. It should not be that hard. Oh, look. You basically solved the entire problem. Episode 5. There's an Imperial fleet surrounding Hoth. What do? Hyperspace. Oh my God, there's a second Death Star that's about to blow up our entire fleet. What do? Hyperspace. Oh my God, Starkiller base is about to fire. What if we just hyperspace ram right into the cannon? That should disable it. Why? But no.
Alright.
See, if Turf Nation actually had any arguments to debunk the idea of hyperspace breaking space battles, I wouldn't be saying all of this, but he doesn't bring anything to the table beyond they should have used it here.
Right. And
An
it's
all-star
visually pleasing, and therefore you should like it.
Yep.
Complaining about.
What are you complaining about?
The Last Jedi cinematography is mediocre. It's not that good.
I'll admit, the Lightspeed thing looks cool. Like, it looks nice. It looks pretty. But it's not good.
Cinematography shots and cinematography are like fucking. How do you say it?
They're fine.
They're supposed to mean something. The shots in The Last Jedi don't mean anything.
Well, the blue of the hyperspace ram represents how sad I am that this franchise is fucking dead.
Yeah.
I'm surprised that Molly didn't foam at the fucking mouth after watching that hyperspeed ram scene. He was probably somewhere along the lines of sounding what the fucking just somewhere along the complete absolute nonsense he must be saying to try and not curse.
It looks cool. Oh my god. Why are you complaining? It looks nice. Look, Disney has a budget. That's so cool, right?
Penises.
Okay. All right. Yeah, we're done.
Also, he goes on about force powers like force projection and force healing, and yeah, I agree that some of these techniques definitely could have been useful in the previous films and reduced the stakes, and yes, this is a valid critique. But also just don't.
Oh my
Here
god.
we go.
Force
wanna limit the
projection?
force, you know? It
This
would have been
stu-
very
Okay,
boring
force
to-
projection is dumb itself. It is a dumb concept itself.
Yeah, the
Why
force
would
power
it-
literally makes absolutely no sense. It's completely inconsistent.
Why would you project yourself just to go away? I don't see any.
Force projection, if you get killed in force projection, you die.
Considering if you use that in the prequel era, you would be dead. You would be dead because that would downright
it is
reveal
the
your
most
plan.
useless force power ever, and the fact that Luke uses it just completely cements how idiotic he is. Like, you know what?
Yeah.
What if Luke Skywalker actually went to Crate? Wait a minute. Okay, so the way that Rey found the fleet was that she used the tracking beacon to find Crate. But how did Luke find Crate with his force projection thingy? Did he just like reach out in the force to see where they were? Did he like how does the power work? I want to know. I need like a detailed explanation, Ryan. Like even if it's just outside of the film and you explain it to me, I will give it a pass because right now
Stop complaining. It's a lore movie for nerds.
That's the prequels, not sequels.
It would have been very boring to have seen the same force powers again and again. And honestly, the force.
That's literally your opinion.
Listen, if you use force projection in the Clone Wars era, in TCW and the expanded universe, that would downright reveal your plan, especially with the type of commanders they had during that time period.
But yeah, they had Force Doppelganger in the EU, which if it is the exact same power that we're showing in the Last Jedi, it just means the EU is even more retarded than it already is. Did I say that out loud? No, I'm just kidding. I like the EU. It's cool. But that if it did originate in the EU, that is a problem with the expanded universe. Never should have been invented in the first place.
Well, I remember something similar to cloning, but it was more like Luke getting his hand chopped off and then somebody using that DNA to make a clone of him. That's the closest I can think of.
Just force projection, not force cloning.
I don't. I'll look into it.
Oh yeah, right. Luke, fucking Mara Jade arc where she kills the clone of Luke and therefore she completed her mission. Who's watching the stream?
Kaiser.
I'm not. I mean, I am. Yes, I'm watching the stream, but I am also interacting. Okay, I'm a part of the stream. I am allowed to see what it looks like.
I know, but just don't watch it with volume on.
I'm not watching it with volume on.
Watch it with the volume on.
Volume on.
Powers introduced work.
Not watching it with the volume on.
Oh wait, sorry. Turf Nation. What did he say? Oh yeah. It would have been boring if they used the same force powers again and again. So it's okay that they made new ones that completely break the lore. And honestly, I think it's kind of fun to see old force powers used in a new context, like Force Stasis from The Force Awakens. It built off of the established Force material, and it was kind of cool. Of course, he didn't use it when it was useful to him for no reason. See, if Kylo had actually used older Force powers to his advantage in The Force Awakens, he would have never lost to Rey. Like, when Rey picks up the lightsaber, why doesn't he just force push him again against a tree and knock her out one more time? It just never comes to his mind.
Yeah, I think it's because the plot has to happen.
Yeah, that is kind of thing with the sequel trilogy. It's like, we can't write well because
Reasons.
Because
that would actually require effort and competent writers who care about Star Wars.
Imagine those.
Well, and are set up in their respective movies. Luke being a force projection is so much more powerful and useful to the Resistance than him.
No, it's not. It's the most useless fucking power ever.
Force projection is stupid.
It is actual suicide. Unless if Luke
fucking it doesn't help. He fucking dies of a heart attack later.
I'm so mad. Like I'm pretty sure he dies. Either he just dies because force projection is hard, which makes him look stupid, or he dies because Kylo stabs him, which makes him look stupid. Or either one happens, no matter what you do.
He dies of a heart
literally
attack.
just means he commits suicide with the force. If he had just gone to Crate, there was a chance of him staying alive in order to help the Resistance further, and he could have actually seen his friends, and he could have actually defeated Kylo. He could have done something, but instead he just like pranks people.
Force projection is also kind of a cliche. Well, fake projection is more of like a cliche.
Yeah, like holograms and stuff. But Ryan loves his cliche.
Yeah, holograms are more useful than force projection.
I can't understand this. Why'd everybody leave? I guess it's Christmas.
He loves his visuals. That Ryan must be a Ryan movie. I completely fucked up.
Actually, it shows much needed growth in his character, dating all the way back to his impulsiveness from A New Hope.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't. I don't. Where are you getting this from? Who left? Kaiser?
Yes, I'm back. Sorry.
All right.
So what are we talking about?
We were talking about. Oh yeah, he said that Luke using force projection shows growth in his character, which I don't know why.
No, it doesn't. It really doesn't.
I think
Now let's talk about the retcons. The Last Jedi retcons the character of General Hux, turning him from a competent commander to a laughable.
Pause that right now. Whose mic is that?
That's probably me. Let me change that.
Okay.
I don't think it's a goof. I think it's basically a joke.
Goof, Finn's crippling spinal injury, the motivations of Supreme Leader Snoke, the destruction of Starkiller Base, having any consequences on the First Order whatsoever, using the most impractical bombers in movie history instead of Y-Wings, Rey's origins.
But Noms, no one has heard of a Y-Wing before.
Yeah, nobody knows what the fucking Y-Wing is.
And the identity of her parents, the meeting of Poe and Rey, General Leia's proficiency with the Force, and the character of Luke Skywalker as a whole, and why he traveled to the island of Ahch-To, as well as his knowledge and wisdom being simply abandoned in favor of attempted child murder.
Alright, there's a lot to pick apart here, so I'll start with the ones I agree with. Hux becoming more comedic does take a lot away from any menace he may have had in The Force Awakens, but also I was never really interested in him to begin with. So
why?
So because you weren't interested in his character specifically, it doesn't matter if his character was assassinated for the sake of the plot.
Yeah, that doesn't really seem like a good criticism.
It's kind of a double whammy because not only is Hux becoming incompetent, that doesn't. I mean, not only does that mean that his character gets ruined, but that the actions he takes in the plot are completely different, and that changes the outcome of the script.
Yeah.
So it's. Why don't you know these things, Turf? I feel like I'm insulting your intelligence by explaining this to you, but you don't seem to have a grasp on the idea that sacrificing established development in order to make a payoff in your script is lazy.
so I didn't mind. Undermining him allows for more growth for Kylo, and I guess that's the only reasoning. Yeah, Starkiller base being blown up doesn't really seem relevant, and that's a problem, because it should. And honestly, the same shit can be said about the Empire. When the first Death Star blows up, they just start building a new one.
The Empire is a controlling stake in the galaxy, and there's a time jump in between episodes 4 and episode 5. Not the same at all, buddy.
Yeah, that's not the same.
And attack the rebels more now. The bombers are very impractical, and they're also carrying a lot of bombs, because a lot of bombs are needed to take down a dreadnought.
We don't know that. We have no idea that that's the case. But to say, even assuming that we did, I think it's just the smarter option not to attack the dreadnought, the dreadnought at that point, because you're just wasting your bombers for a suicide run. Like I already kind of find it funny that I had this like 3-day argument with this guy from TurfNations's server on the legitimacy of the bombers, and the only reason that the last bomber even managed to actually drop its payload was because all of the TIE fighters just like stopped attacking it. It's it's not bad. It's like not only are the bombers incompetent, but the TIE fighters just become incompetent because Ryan needs to have that one shot where the bomber is just all on its own, and it's so cool, and the visuals and the CGI is state of the art, and oh my god, the nameless bomber lady's gonna die, and oh my god. I don't understand.
I don't think I really gave him too much.
So yeah, it doesn't really matter. And it's not a retcon. Alright, yeah.
It doesn't matter. The bombers being bad is what like starts Poe's character arc in the film. If they had just attacked the ship with Y-wings and blown it all up, yeah, some ships might have died, but Poe saved the day. But in this one, they lose their entire bomber squad and like a good amount of their fighters. Like,
and also, can we talk about how weak those bombers are? Like,
they're just the worst.
Structure
They're really the worst.
Do they have? Like, I don't understand, bro. Oh,
all right, well, all right, well, this is actually a really bad time. I gotta have dinner right now. We don't really seem to have anybody else on the stream.
Okay.
So,
oh no, I'm still here.
Do my
All
right.
Is it possible that we should pack this up for another day, like finish it later, or do you guys want to keep going? Either way, I gotta leave.
I mean, if you want, I can go and continue along with Oliver here.
I'm gonna continue with
If you want to, that's fine. I'm just saying that, like, if you don't want to be left all alone, then we can just pack this up and.
No, it's fine.
All right.
I think we can handle it.
All right.
I think we can handle this.
All right. See you guys.
All right. See you, Airborne.
Yeah.
Well, it's my stream now.
Well, it's ours. Because we're the only ones.
Prepare your anus, JK. All right. Let's go and continue.
Yeah, honestly, of Poe and Rey doesn't make sense because they were literally feet apart in The Force Awakens, and yeah, of course they'd have met. This is just a mistake made, and yes, it's valid, but it also doesn't matter too much in the overall story, so let's just move on.
Well, I mean,
oh my.
I'm actually trying to find some because I mean he is kind of correct, but like you would probably think that they would have more character time, right? Like you would think that Poe would probably have a bit more time for this, I guess.
Oh yeah.
Development with Rey, you know.
Oh yeah. Did you know that Colin Trevorrow was planning to make Rey and Poe a couple?
I don't know about that, bro.
Yeah, like
know.
it was planning.
Legit.
Like legit, I don't like they barely even met. Like NTOJ.
It just doesn't seem right. Anyway.
Now for the thing I agree with. Supreme Leader Snoke's motivations never really mattered much, especially not when compared.
Except they kinda do, considering that he's the one who trained Kylo to begin with. Like, don't you think that maybe we need a little bit of, like, I guess,
Yeah.
background information on Snoke instead of just saying, oh, you know, he was like a fucking test tube baby. Who
Oh,
dis?
Leader?
Yeah. Okay. Where did Airborne go, and what did I miss?
He left. He went to make dinner. So yeah, it's our stream now.
Come sit in, or so we can get taken. I'm joking.
No, dude, sir, please fucking don't.
I really wish we could do another one of those. This is a bit off topic, but I wish we could do another one of those streams since Replica's off right now.
Oh yeah, that would be funny. But we don't want to piss him off. Like some of us are been nice with him.
Well, I mean,
Okay, I'm just saying if Replica wants us to do a review response to Southpaw Spider-Man 2 video, we're not doing that.
Yeah, let's not do that.
He's very himself is biased and strawmanning, saying he hates the movie when he doesn't hate the movie.
Hello, the fighting expert.
Hello, fighting expert.
Hello there.
Well, since we have half of the script Coronas here, we may as well continue with that.
Also, to anybody who hasn't joined the Discord, I'm doing a fucking Nitro giveaway.
Oh wait, hold on. That's right. Hold on. Let me give him. I'm
doing a giveaway since today is Christmas, and yeah. So, what?
Poop dealer, can you invite the fighting expert to the group DM so you can get in and watch together?
Isn't it a fighting expert mod though?
Well, yes, but I would rather him.
Okay, well, it's in special it's in special procedures channel. It's a scroll and special procedures. Scroll up and special.
I don't understand why we're not inviting him to the group DM. Just invite him.
What do you mean group DM?
The one you were invited to, smartass.
Join in special procedures channel. The link fucking general put it in a special procedures staff channel.
I have the link.
Okay, it's fine. Just join then. Okay. Well, everyone's here.
This stream was a mess.
Kylo was always supposed to be the villain, not Snoke, because he would have just.
Well, I mean, it's true that Kylo would have still been the big bad, but I mean, don't you think we need a little bit more motivation as well for someone who trained?
Yes.
I think that's kind of more important.
It's been boring, so instead he acts as the initiator into Kylo's arc. We didn't have a problem with.
But Kylo was the initiator to Kylo's arc in The Force Awakens.
Kylo has no arc. He's basically a man baby. When you think about it,
well,
people call Anakin whiny and shit, but don't pay attention to how Kylo throws a bitch fit or a fucking droid.
Also, the fact that when you look at his actual age, he's in his 30s.
Dating a 19-year-old or 20-year-old,
assaults his fucking commanding officers a lot.
Rey is 19 in The Force Awakens and The Last Jedi, since The Last Jedi picks off right after The Force Awakens. The Rise of Skywalker is a year after The Last Jedi, right?
Yo, that means that he's like twice her age.
So, and people say that Anakin and Padme is pedophile relationship.
No, it's not. Anakin's like fucking, I think, 19 or 18 in Attack of the Clones. He's either 18 or 19 in Attack of the Clones.
He was 19 in Attack of the Clones. So.
And Padme's like 22 or 20, like 22, right? In Attack of the Clones.
Yeah.
There's a 5-year difference between Anakin and Padme.
Oh, that's right. So she's like 24 then?
Also, shipping Rey and Kylo is just as bad as shipping, like Shao Kahn and Sindel. So basically, don't ship them.
Don't shit people,
There's a
period.
10-year difference between Rey and Kylo. So.
Well, I guess it's less awkward.
That's thinking.
Yeah, true.
Blatant response to the backlash. Rey's parentage is not a retcon. It's a solution to an impossible question set up by J.J. Abrams. All the mystery surrounding Rey's parents.
Well, I do agree that it wasn't really a retcon in TLJ, but it definitely was a retcon.
It was never set up in the first place.
Well, I mean,
it was a retcon. There was no plan.
I mean, the plan.
There was no plan. It was just mystery boxes.
Yeah. It's just revealed that her parents sold her for drinking money in The Last Jedi, and then in The Rise of Skywalker, it's like, oh yeah, you know, the children.
Wait, they sold her for drinking money? No, that's epic.
Well, oh yeah, I mean, they're totally good parents, right? I mean.
Yeah. Yeah. I would do the same.
Well, to be honest, I mean, they're better than Darth Vader, in a way. So.
Yes.
It's not like
we're better.
So many fan theories, and no matter who it would have been massively disappointing. Also, the whole idea of Rey being no one is so fucking brilliant, it's insane.
I mean,
because it was already done with Anakin, and it was done much better.
No, listen. No, it's not genius. We know from the Plagueis novel that Anakin was created by the Force, and him being created by the Force as a chosen one in retaliation to Palpatine is genius, especially since he's the chosen one, which adds to his redemption arc in Return of the Jedi.
And it's sort of actually like, if you watch Revenge of the Sith, it actually gives a nice subversion on the Chosen One prophecy.
Yes, it's supposed to remember. Remember, basically, all the events in Revenge of the Sith are basically like a fucking retelling of taking a deal with the devil. That scene of Anakin when he's about to kill Mace Windu and fainting to Palpatine, that's basically the deal with the devil to him. It seems, and it makes no sense that the Force would just recreate Rey. I don't care if peace is 30 years. There is peace in the galaxy. The prophecy said that it would be peace. They did not say it would be 30 years or a limited time. They would say it would be peace forever.
Yeah.
That is kind of.
Also, if there wasn't going to be peace, then why did the Force let Anakin die?
Shit, the Anakin being created by the Force is genius, especially with the Chosen One and.
Yeah, that is a good point, fighting expert.
Rian Johnson said in an interview that this decision was him asking himself what would be the hardest possible answer for Rey to hear. Her whole life she's been waiting for someone to tell her she's special, and her hearing that she's no one forces her to see this.
Yeah, she's one of those special people. She's
a different kind of special.
Hey, that's an insult to special people.
It's not an insult to me, and I'm a fucking artist, straight up. Anyway.
I'm gonna be honest and say that
it's a about it.
What? Who did that? Who did that? Who did that?
That was me. I did that by accident. I was trying to press pause. Anyway, let's just pretend that never happened.
They just start building a new one and attack the rebels more now. The bombers are very impractical, and they're also carrying a lot of bombs.
Okay, listen. Those bombers are so fucking poorly made, and it makes no sense that the Resistance can't find any fucking Y-wings. And I think it will make more. It doesn't help that one, and it doesn't help that just one TIE fighter laser to it, and the entire ship is gone. Like it will be smart to at least get some shields around them, because if one shot is all it takes for the entire thing to blow apart, then it's stupid. Also, why did it take fucking one fucking what do you call it, resistance bomber to blow up the dreadnought.
Yeah, that is true. I mean, that says a lot more about how.
All so what would have happened if all those bombs got passed and it only took one of them to destroy the dreadnought? You're telling me they planned for everybody to die?
Yeah, so like,
No,
wouldn't that mean
but what
they
if
had
what
enough
if
firepower to destroy the entire fleet?
what? Yeah, they do.
The bombers.
But still, like, what if as soon as all those bombers got passed, destroyed the dreadnought, Snoke's ship came and destroyed all of them? It'll be a waste of fucking troops. It would be a waste. The bombers are very poorly designed, and the best defense I could give them is it should have had shields. It should have had shields.
Ray shields, to be more precise.
Yes, yes.
Don't even start with that joke again.
I think everyone forgot about the shields in TOJ.
The what in TOJ? Oliver, what did you say? What?
There was 0 shields in TOJ. Like.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
No shields whatsoever. Like.
Also, ships falling backwards when they get destroyed. Okay.
Yeah, it's so dumb.
TOJ just breaks all logic imaginable, and it's stupid. Also, I know this is more of a nitpick, but why are the shield projections whenever the resistance ship, capital ship gets shot? The shield thing is more outside instead of being directly on the ship, because shields don't retaliate like that. There's no
like how. Sorry.
There's no orbit around the shields in Star Wars. There was no orbit in fucking Rebels. There's no orbit in OG Battlefront 2. There's no orbit. So why is it outside of the fucking ship?
I also like
Teal just ignores
like that there are no shields to the fucking command center of the rebel capital ship. Like there is absolutely
fucking
no shields.
What? Yeah. Also, the capital area of the ship, the capital area where all the commanders are, should be way more heavily guarded. And like capital areas in this, what do you fucking call it? Command bridge. The command bridge is a lot more guarded and has its own specific part of shields.
Yeah.
It's made out of, I think, special type of metal, if I recall correctly.
I had to leave and come back because you were cutting off a lot. Anyway, let's continue.
Needed to take down. So yeah, I agree, but it doesn't really matter. And
it doesn't really matter. Okay. It doesn't matter, but it doesn't say why.
It does matter.
It's not a retcon. Alright, yeah, honestly, the meeting of Poe and Rey doesn't make sense because they were literally feet apart in The Force Awakens, and yeah, of course they'd have met. This is just a mistake made, and yes, it's valid, but it also doesn't matter too much in the overall story, so let's just move on. Now for the things I disagree.
He keeps saying
we already addressed it.
No, but I don't understand it. He keeps saying it doesn't matter. Doesn't say why it doesn't matter.
Well, yeah, but like we already addressed that.
Also,
so let's just move on here.
I told Kaiser this about Poop Dealer and Fighting Expert. Did you know that Colin Trevorrow was going to make Rand Paul a couple?
I would actually prefer that, honestly.
No. I'm not one of those fan fiction type weirdos who ships people, but it should have. It was set up in The Force Awakens, and we obviously know it was supposed to be Rey and Finn. I guarantee you, if JJ wasn't asked for The Rise of Skywalker, whenever Finn tried to tell Rey something, it was going to be Rey and Finn, not Rey and Kylo, not Rey and Poe, Rey and Finn.
Also, the fact that Finn was supposed to be the main character.
Like, it's obvious. Anyone with the brain would know that Finn was trying to tell Rey that he loved her. That's obvious. That's completely obvious. JJ just pulled that out of his ass. It's probably some bullshit explanation in the Rise of Skywalker novel, but I'm not going to go back to that.
Actually, like what, and the actors admitted this. that what they were trying to do was to like hint to the fact that Finn was a Force sensitive.
That's stupid. Why we?
Well, I mean, considering the waste of potential that is his character, yeah, it is stupid. Because
we're in the last movie for fuck. We're in the last movie of the trilogy for fuck's sake. You had all that time to set up, but we're in the last movie of the trilogy, so it's too late now.
Yeah.
You have to tie everything together. You have to.
Too late.
Also, one thing I find funny about the Rise of Skywalker is a lot like when the Last Jedi of the Force Awakens released. They said that Episode 9 will tie everything from the prequels and originals together. Yet that never happened in the Rise of Skywalker, other than us hearing the voices.
Yeah. Which it doesn't
supposed to be the villain, not Snoke, because he would have just been.
With the voices, you have characters that are alive, but you still hear their voices.
Yeah.
He would have just been
Hello.
So instead, he acts as the initiator into Kylo's arc. We didn't have a problem with the Emperor, and we shouldn't have a problem with Snoke. And to be honest, him just being Palpatine in The Rise of Skywalker is just blatant response to the backlash. Rey's parentage is not a retcon. It's a solution to an impossible question set up by J.J. Abrams. All the mystery surrounding Rey's parents led to so many fan theories, and no matter who it would have been massively disappointing.
Massively disappointing. No, I could think of a bunch of examples that would be overwhelmingly positive.
Hello,
we already responded to this.
Oh, hi, Replica.
I thought you were going to take a break, Replica.
I am taking a break, but then I saw you guys screw around here. What's going on? I am not taking a break. I'm making a video on fucking Southpaw and his ridiculous Spider-Man 2.
Yeah, and it's gonna be fucking shit. Because you're biased. You're biased. You didn't watch the video. You keep saying he hates the movie when he didn't hate the movie. You keep strawmanning him, but then say we are strawmanning you.
I'm sure my bias against the concept of being able to throw cars at police helicopters is totally going to...
Spider-Man 2 is not a masterpiece.
Well, even if it's not a masterpiece, it's not a fucking 3 out of 10 either, my guy.
He didn't say it was a 3 out of 10. He said it was a 4 out of 10.
Well, that's still retarded.
It's a good movie, but it's not great. I call it a good movie, not great.
I've watched a good 40 minutes of his video, and I want to kill myself. This response video is 100% warranted. I don't understand why.
You get ready. You're probably going to get EFAP or get a response because you said
fine.
You're saying that that he's biased. You're saying he's biased and all that shit, and how he's strawmanning.
Right.
A lot of his points are accurate.
He's either biased or he's nitpicking.
He's not biased. He said at the end of the video, he still loved the movie.
Or he's nitpicking to the point of dysfunction. He can't properly enjoy films if that's the case because it doesn't make sense. He doesn't think about basic things.
Bye, Replica. Okay, let's continue.
Okay. All right. What the fuck?
I could just come back whenever I want.
We're just gonna ignore you.
Hold on. What's going on over here? What's going on over here? You're doing Turf Nation. Okay, well that's fine.
Yes.
That's something.
Hello, Retcon. It is I, the fighting expert.
Do you also like his video? Why does everybody like his video? It's stupid.
No one watched it. This video is really bad.
It's not even done yet, Jackass.
It's still really bad.
All right. Anyway, let's continue, please.
All right. Yeah. Good luck. Good luck with it, you guys. I'm gonna destroy this guy.
Wilson said in an interview that this decision was him asking himself what would be the hardest possible answer for Rey to hear. Her whole life, she's been waiting for someone to tell her she's special, and her hearing that she's no one forces her to see the special within her. It's a great way of forwarding her character arc, and frankly, it's wonderful writing. And lastly, the theme of anybody being able to have the Force is so powerful to me as a longtime Star Wars fan.
It's what did he say with the writing? It's
not
wonderful.
powerful writing.
That is lazy. It is lazy.
She could have literally been anything.
I have had bowel movements more powerful and emotional than whatever the Last Jedi was.
Really, Ray. I'd rather Ray's parents be some random people than her being made by the Force, since that just fucks with Anakin's redemption even more, and him being the chosen one.
Yeah.
I think her being nobody is better than her being Palpatine's granddaughter. Also stupid.
Yeah. I will
All the powerful characters in Star Wars are just born into powerful families. Maybe not someone like Obi-Wan, but
No, not all Jedi were born into powerful families. No. Anakin's mom, him and his mom were slaves, and were lucky to even have a roof under their head, considering they're on Tatooine. And with Mos Eisley. Who else? Who else had a rough childhood?
I failed to see how the Jedi were born under like very powerful families, unless you mean like in terms of Force usability. But then again, that sort of debunks that.
But most of them
No, Count. Remember, the reason Count Dooku became a Jedi at first was because his father hated Jedi, and his father would treat him like shit. He even left him outside to die,
outside the city walls,
so he could get killed by a monster.
But people don't know that. People don't know that if they're watching the movies, though. That's the problem. Like, you'd find out if you.
Yeah, but he's still saying that all Jedi. He's saying all Jedi.
Yeah. Yeah, that's inaccurate.
And her being no one but still powerful makes the Force seem mystical again. The irony.
The Force seems. The Force is anything but mystical, and the Force is anything but mystical and Disney canon. It's basically a superpower now.
Yeah, it's honestly really, really, really ironic because all these people are like, oh, keep religion out of Star Wars, but yet when you break down the Force, it's basically two religious factions fighting each other.
Yes.
Yeah.
And they want the religion.
It's actually a lot more deeper than that.
Well, true.
But I'm going on the most basic level. So it's just these people are so hypocritical. They don't want religion, but yet they want religion.
Yes, you're right. Two greedy factions. Both the Jedi and Sith are greedy.
Yeah.
Yeah, but for example, Turf Nation, he doesn't want religion in Star Wars, but yet what he wants for the Force is very much a religious thing of it.
Disney canon is to make the Force mystical, and it doesn't help that in Disney canon they tease that Palpatine made Anakin in those fucking shitty Vader comics.
Yeah.
Which I don't have to explain how much that could fuck up everything that's set up in the prequels and originals.
Yeah,
it just shouldn't happen. And if Palpatine can make a chosen one, why doesn't he just make multiple chosen ones in that case? Because obviously doesn't take that much effort.
Well, I mean, it's because he didn't have
irony that it's
clothing vats.
Who's the Skywalker?
He just didn't have a bunch of clothing
Also,
vats before.
you got to remember that if Palpatine made Anakin, Palpatine wasn't even that mastered in the Force either, considering he was still somewhat a Padawan being trained by Darth Plagueis, and he somehow made Anakin.
Yeah, I highly doubt that.
It's so dumb.
Who's the Skywalker, the good family, but turns out evil, while Rey is nobody and is the good person, is powerful. And honestly, this decision is one of the best decisions in all of Star Wars. Luke's
A Jedi without training is nothing.
Yeah. Potential
Rey
training is nothing.
Rey is not a Jedi. She's just some random psychopath that knows how to use the Force for some reason.
That is true. She is a bit of a psychopath, isn't she? Especially in The Rise of Skywalker. Like, she doesn't even give a fuck about the people she accidentally blew up.
Take a shot every time you hear Rey scream in. Take a shot every time you hear Rey scream in the sequels.
Oh god, I'd fucking die. I would literally just fucking die.
Character is not a retcon. It fits perfectly with Luke's story from the original trilogy.
Luke's it's no, stop referring to whatever that thing in The Last Jedi is. It's not Luke, it's Jake. It's Jake. Not Luke, Jake.
To take a Harry Potter meme, how dare you stand where he stood? You know what I mean?
It's that Luke.
It's literally that. It's literally that.
Like I said before, Luke's character assassination in The Last Jedi could be described as a guy standing against rape, doing protests against rape, but then you find out that he's been raping people. It's utterly useless when you're standing against this, yet you're doing the same fucking thing.
We literally mentioned that like earlier in the stream.
Oh yeah. Speaking of Harry Potter, I'm actually building a Lego during the stream.
Saying he attempted child shows you didn't understand the scene. Luke.
Hold on, let's rewind that a bit.
Perfectly with Luke's story from the original.
Hold on. Wait for the second clip to play.
You saying he attempted child murder shows you didn't understand the scene.
No. Listen here. Luke sees this kid, right? Who's obviously scared. He's gonna get consumed by the dark side, and his first thought is to fucking kill him. That's not Luke.
This is supposed to be the same Luke Skywalker who redeemed his father, Darth fucking Vader. Someone who's supposed to be irredeemable.
And give us a rundown of everything Anakin did that was irredeemable in Revenge of the Sith.
I'm looking up one of the old EU books actually on about Han Solo's two eldest kids. Luke specifically talks about one of his students that came to his Jedi temple. He knew right away that the dark side is going to torment this kid, but he still took him in. And then once it came time, he took him to the Dagobah cave. And the kid was so freaked out that he abandoned using the Force at all.
If we had this alternate universe for the sequel trilogy where Ben has become Kylo Ren and Luke actually talks to him instead of trying to fucking kill him, that would honestly have been pretty cool and a pretty good scene. But no, we had to get child murderer. He tried to kill him. Vader killed younglings, destroyed the Jedi Order, killed his wife. What else? Say what you were saying.
Well, he has enslaved countless planets and even destroyed a few of them with the Death Star.
In the expanded universe, Vader was so evil, he even fucking slaughtered like at least 7 people who are already heavily injured in a hospital. That's to the point where you're basically fucking irredeemable. And Luke was able to redeem him. But can't see helping a scared little boy, so resorts to killing him.
Right. I find that hard to believe.
That's
very hard to believe.
That's not Luke.
Yeah, that's not Luke whatsoever. Anyway.
Never going to kill Ben. It was an instinct, a fleeting thought, an impulse.
A fleeting thought that made him an intended murderer. Like,
this reminds me. Maybe if anybody's watching the stream remembers, I was in a debate in TurfNations's server saying how Luke trying to kill Ben was character assassination, and because the C, right? That's the C. He had said his defense was it was from instinct. I don't care for that's from instinct. Like we just said, not even a minute ago. Luke redeemed Vader, the irredeemable. He redeemed the irredeemable, and his first instinct is to kill a child who is scared. That should not be your first instinct.
Plus, I'm pretty sure it's not a fleeting thought. I'm pretty sure it's not a fleeting thought if you straight up walk into someone's tent and then ignite the lightsaber with the intention to kill them. I don't think that's a fleeting thought. I think that's more of like you are about to try and murder someone. That's not exactly
even say what you want about the expanding universe. Even Luke after Return of the fucking Jedi spats on this idea that he would kill a child. He would resort to killing somebody if they're being consumed by the dark side. Every chance Luke will try to get to, change somebody from falling to the dark side in the expanded universe, he tries to. And sometimes it actually does work. He doesn't resort to trying to kill them immediately.
Yeah.
Such as that one student he had that was consumed by the dark side, but Luke
Darth
kind of
Caedus.
scared him
He
out.
tried. Even Mara Jade tried to stop Darth Caedus, but after seeing that he had killed Mara Jade, he was basically irredeemable.
Yeah. Well, anyway.
He recoiled immediately, but the damage was already done. And that's a real as fuck theme. People can't admit that even their hero could have moments of weakness, moments of...
No one's saying that. No one is saying that Luke did not have...
Themes.
No, listen. No one is saying that Luke has never had moments of weakness. He has. He's never given up. Luke in The Empire Strikes Back, that isn't giving up. That isn't giving up. He's given a chance to either one, join the dark side, or two, him take the path of, sacrificing himself instead of joining his father to the dark side. That isn't failure.
Yeah. All right.
Moments of darkness. Don't know shit about human nature. We've all had dark thoughts, even if we're good people. But these dark thoughts have never gone wrong for us.
Okay. Thinking about something is different from actually doing something. Like, making a dark humor joke is different from actually doing what you said in that dark humor joke. It's different. You can think something, but you can also do something that's different. It's different.
I don't even have to explain
but they could so easily do. It's hypocritical to think that Luke couldn't have this moment of weakness. If Luke was just perfect all the time.
It wasn't just a moment of weakness. He was trying to murder his fucking nephew.
His nephew.
Yes.
His sister's son. Also, don't you find it ironic that Leia in Rise of Skywalker, they say that she stopped becoming a Jedi so her family wouldn't die? What do you know? All of her family's dead now. Luke, Han, Ben.
What's happening?
We're
your
doing
mom
stuff and talking about things.
Airborne.
Is the video over? Or did you get past that?
No, we're not.
We're debunking this fucking bullshittery.
We are on the 12-minute mark right now.
He's making this argument that if you remember, Airborne, when I was debating in TurfNations's server that Luke trying to kill Ben was character assassination, because we know that Luke wouldn't do that. He wouldn't do that.
Yeah.
In his defense is it was what did he say, Kaiser? It was instinct, and that should not.
Yeah.
That should not be.
I just have to wonder.
That shouldn't be your first instinct. That should not be Luke Skywalker.
I have to
Skywalker.
wonder why his first instinct is to kill Ben when it
shouldn't be
who he is as a person.
Like we just listed all the things that Vader did. All the irredeemable, fucked up, dark things Vader did, and Luke was still able to redeem him. But can't see helping a scared little boy who hasn't even done anything wrong other than feeling emotions of the dark side.
Right. It's just fucking dog shit, really.
Then he'd be a stale character. And for me, he'd be honestly ruined. Luke in The Last Jedi is a continuation.
He would be ruined if he didn't try to kill Ben? Or... Sorry, I'm maybe taking this out of context because I just got here. Let me rewind it a bit.
Couldn't have this moment of weakness. Exactly what he said. If Luke was just perfect all the time, then he'd be a stale...
Oh,
no one said he's...
This is the worst straw man in the entire world.
No one said
Luke to be perfect. You want him to be a Gary Stew. You want him to be an ultra mega guru badass.
Nephew. He's totally Gary Stew for not wanting to kill his nephew.
What a terrible character for wanting to show mercy to his nephew. What a boring character for not killing his nephew.
He won't even cut his nephew to pieces, that idiot.
What a fucking boring concept for Luke Skywalker, not character assassinating him.
I know, like that would be so boring.
That would be so predictable.
I know, it's so predictable. Let's make a hero
his nephew. First instinct. His first instinct is to fucking kill him.
Right, that not being
that is and that moment when he flicks on that lightsaber, Luke Skywalker is gone. It's all Jake now.
Yep, that's exactly what happened.
Character for me, he'd be honestly ruined. Luke.
Whatever.
Mute your microphone, please.
In The Last Jedi.
Oh, me. Okay. Let me just do something real quick. I'll lower the video volume.
Jedi is a continuation of his character in the originals, and this movie...
No, it's not. No, it's not.
They're hardly the same person.
I think the only part where I saw Luke was like when he talked to Leia in on Crate.
Other than that,
even then, that's like kind of stretching it.
I'm pretty sure you mean not Hoth.
Not Hoth, right? My bad.
Yeah.
And this movie ends his arc perfectly with the most moving scene in all of Star Wars.
The most moving scene in all of Star Wars is in Return of the Jedi.
Yes.
When he chooses not to kill his father. And then they just completely ruin that fucking scene right here.
It is not a continuation. Like we said, Vader was basically irredeemable. From Revenge of the Sith, from all the stuff that's leading up from everything post Revenge of the Sith to Return of the Jedi. He's basically irredeemable. But Luke is still able to redeem him. But his first instinct is to kill his son. No, not his son, but kill his fucking nephew. It's not Luke.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense at all.
Death. So yeah, if you have some time to properly watch and understand The Last Jedi, you'd realize it's not as bad as you remember. Just remember to try to...
Yeah, it's actually worse than I remember.
I watched The Last Jedi about 20 times, and it is still horrible each time. It gets
watched
worse
it 20
every
times?
time. I had to.
What possessed you to watch it 20 times?
You poor soul.
TurfNation debunking his stupid argument.
Oh my god, I couldn't possibly do that. I think I've watched a total. I think I've watched that movie a total of 4 times.
I haven't rewatched the sequels in like 6 months now, and I'm happy.
What? Know how your enemy thinks. Art of War.
The closest I've been to rewatching sequels is seeing scenes and
fighting
videos.
expert. It's not about fighting what we hate.
Don't.
Fighting isn't always about the physical.
It's about saving people who sexually assault in the movie.
We live in a society.
Remove all by do so.
The Rise of Skywalker, on the other hand, retcons the hinted romance of Finn and Rose, the terrible Last Jedi bombers, the lightspeed ram ability, Leia's status as a Jedi Master, the origins of Snoke, Kylo Ren's broken mask.
Alright, most of the retcons here are the wrong things to point out.
Actually, everything
right
everything Skywalker retcons here actually kind of improves the quality of the trilogy. But the way it does it is just really stupid.
Because they honestly don't matter much. Kylo Ren's mask. The beginning of this movie is Kylo trying to solidify himself as the supreme leader. Not for his subordinates, but for himself because he's conflicted. The remaking of the mask for me just said...
How is he conflicted?
I thought they destroyed the mask.
He feels the pulse of the light, fighting expert. It all makes sense.
Where does it show it?
I don't know.
I thought he was just mad because he was told off, and so he just destroyed his mask because reasons.
Kylo Ren is a fucking man baby in Star Wars. He's a fucking man baby.
He's a fucking child.
He's in his
He's a 30-year-old man baby.
We have 6 more minutes of this shit.
Symbolizes him trying to force this persona upon himself.
He doesn't really need to do that, though, does he? He's pretty confident in his position as evil supreme leader. I mean, he doesn't really struggle in this film with that at all. He's perfectly fine with outright murdering Rey until Leia force calls him through the Force.
Yeah,
I think he's perfectly fine.
Well, he does choke his subordinates from here to there, but then again,
That's just him being evil face.
That's just him trying to be a discount Darth Vader.
Yeah, they're just trying to one up A New Hope.
Edgelord.
Look!
They're trying to one up the entire original trilogy.
Oh look! Instead of just force choking the guy, he slams him on the wall. Isn't that so much cooler?
No.
It drags him over to his hand as he chokes him. He's so cool.
Oh my god, that's so amazing.
Leia is out of the blue, but
okay, sorry. You do that voice so fucking well.
Oh my god, it's so cool.
Yeah, it's so cool.
That's the best thing ever.
Oh my god.
Blue, but I mean, it was set up in Return of the Jedi. The thing is, you just don't hit on the real problems with the Rise of Skywalker. How it retconned everything the Last Jedi set up. Rey being no one, as I said, was brilliant, and them making her Palpatine is completely counterintuitive.
Rey being no one is a stupid asshole that makes absolutely no sense. I'm sorry. Just because it's thematically cool and unique, which it isn't, doesn't make it good. Like, I mean, how many characters in Star Wars have no famous parents, yet they're fucking badasses? Han Solo, Obi-Wan Kenobi, Ahsoka Tano, the entire clone army.
Actually, Django is cool though. Django is actually cool.
But he's not exactly their parent. He's just their donor.
Shut up. I mean, well, Jackson Morrell.
It's a bit of a home record.
Well, Jackson Morrell's also cool.
The point is, the clones, basically, they were raised to just be expendable soldiers, yet they became more than what they really were. That's the common thing in Star Wars in general. It's not special to Rey. It's only unique, and it's got some insane twists because we just didn't expect it because she's overpowered as hell. Like, it's just doing like the one thing nobody expected because it's just so fucking retarded. You wouldn't like see Ryan making a decision so stupid.
She's Ma.
Yeah.
Rey.
Yeah, I mean,
race.
It is absolutely. It's not unique or anything. It just means okay, but she doesn't have an explanation for that power. The only interesting thing about her character is now just gutted because of a twist. It's probably the most insulting part of The Last Jedi beyond Luke's character. And Snoke dying. And Cancer Bite.
I really did like how
pretty much everything
Ryan.
Last Jedi is insulting. I
really hate how Ryan just stole all, I'd say, somewhat good ideas in The Force Awakens. He just stole them all away for his stupid ass payoff.
Yep. And
like
that
zero
fight
payoff
scene.
Oh.
Oh, I hate it.
I mean, the action in the sequel trilogy is just overall really fucking bad.
The throne room battle.
A bit more and watch that scene.
So wait, any nuance or complexity to her character?
What complexity to her character do you have?
Listen. There is nothing complex in the sequels other than how bad they are. They're so bad it's complex from how bad.
Okay, you know what? Rey's character is as flat as Captain Marvel's rear. Probably flatter.
Oh boy. Damn. I have nothing else to say to that. I think that's a good point.
It is the truth.
It's
Savage,
baby.
Oh my god!
No, that's based.
I'm going back to the stream and I'm getting that on. I'm getting that.
No, that was based. That was very based.
That was based. Oh my god!
Now she's because she's a Palpatine, and
actually, to think about that, I think Rey being a Palpatine is more interesting than her not being anybody, because at least you can have a story with that instead of because in Last Jedi, Rey basically just she cries about it for 5 seconds and then she just then she doesn't think about it anymore.
Yeah, that is true. She doesn't really like.
And
nothing
also
actually.
She doesn't care that she nearly killed Chewbacca.
Oh yeah, she screams and then she's sad and then they just get back to adventure.
Yeah, exactly.
How many times does Rey scream in The Rise of... Guys, I have a question. How many times does Rey scream in The Rise of Skywalker?
Let's see.
Too many.
1, 2,
100 times.
3, 4, 5, 6.
You might want to grab a bag of popcorn. We're gonna be here for a while.
It's kind of hard to remember because I only watched that movie one time, but I think it's like 6 times. And that's not like including like yelling. That's just like straight up screams.
Yeah.
Finn, who's now Force sensitive, is not very powerful because he's not someone special. Star Wars doesn't make us, the audience, feel special anymore. And
what? What? What about Ahsoka? I mean,
this is from the same guy that says that the Force is mystical again, and anybody can be a Jedi now.
What about? I mean, Ahsoka was an audience surrogate character, and she was nobody. She wasn't the daughter of some crazy Force guru.
She was Grogu's adopted niece. That's about it.
She's like literally. Why is Rey's not special? Like, if she had been the parents of absolutely nobody, some random junk dealers, that's nothing. I mean, her being the daughter of Palpatine is stupid.
Airborne,
but it's something.
Rey is one of those is one of those special that like she's part of those special type of people. The special type of people.
Special ed. Yeah.
Special ones.
Yeah, special ed. Yeah. No. That was kind of special. Anyway.
And Rose, even though she was a lackluster character in The Last Jedi, shouldn't have been ignored the way she was.
Why not?
Somebody has an echo.
Might be me. But nothing I can really do about it. I'll just try to. Okay.
Should have tried to improve upon the skeleton already created instead of shafting her to the side. This just shows a massive fear of.
Remember when J.J. Abrams said "Go Asians"? That was funny.
Green screen in the desert.
Go Asians, except for when they're Rose. You can't have those fucking And it was fucking Vietnamese people in our Star Wars films.
Green, guys, just like JJ. No, JJ pushed the limits of filmmaking by bringing green screen to the desert. What did George do?
Bringing green screen to the.
That is true, dude.
Green screen in the mountains as well.
Green screen in the desert. You could use a green screen for the desert, or fuck that. You could use a sky.
The green screen was just the green screen look of the actual desert that they were shooting in.
The mythical dyad of the Rise of Skywalker.
What was the point?
Like they go to a desert to green screen an environment in that looks just like the desert that they were shooting the film in.
Green screen. I want to do like a review response to the Skywalker Legacy video. That mythical dyad, the mythical dyad of the Rise of Skywalker.
Integrity. See, these things are actual problems with the Rise of Skywalker. Retcons that severely hurt the movie. But for some reason you don't talk about those. I think it's important that if we're going to criticize a movie, that at least we do it well. Next he talks about Palpatine return.
Who's doing that?
Who's doing that?
Who's the asshole?
Who's doing that?
Oliver,
how it's extremely idiotic.
No, I think Oliver is user LSDDY. Maybe. I don't know.
Well, you have one.
I'm not doing anything.
Who's doing it?
And I certainly agree with this. Palpatine returning was just weird and wrong and perverse, and was an obvious attempt to make people excited for the movie, even though
based Turf Nation.
Though his story ended in Return of the Jedi.
No, Turf is far from based.
But this is based. Palpatine was obviously just a marketing ploy.
Okay, that statement is based, but Turf is far from being based.
I know, but I'm just saying, like, in this moment, Turf is based.
Part of the story, and his role in the movie really just proves that this trilogy had no plan from the beginning.
Yes! Turf is smart! You're on a roll here.
This should be obvious. This should be obvious. This should be obvious. Not just from the Rise of Skywalker.
Last Jedi so much for being different, for being bold, for attempting new shit.
Okay, you're back to being dumb.
Okay, name something new for that. Name something new that the Last Jedi did.
I mean, God, it is.
Yes.
Hello?
Hey, Michael.
No, it's Michael.
Merry Christmas, everybody!
Merry Christmas, Michael.
Okay, so
where's
listen.
the link? Where's the link of happiness?
Look at special
somebody send the link to Michael.
All right, listen. People say that the Last Jedi did something new. A lot of the Last Jedi rehash of Empire Strikes Back. Let's see. We have the crate scene, which is trying to be a replica of the Battle of Hoth. We have TIE fighters. Fucking what else? We have that throne room. That throne room isn't original. It's ripping off from the Wizard of Oz and Return of the Jedi's throne room scene. That's not original either.
Yes,
what else?
It is. That shouldn't exist in any reality whatsoever.
What else was original? Now just try your best. Name one thing original. The soundtrack is just Walmart tier, so that doesn't count.
Kylo's lightsaber.
No, Kylo. No, I said from the Last Jedi. Hard, isn't it?
Yeah.
Mary Poppins in space.
That does not count.
No, not really, because in the Clone Wars,
there are things.
No, listen, in the Clone Wars Adventures comics, we already had something like that. Fucking clone commandos with umbrellas landing down.
True. Slow.
I like in The Rise of Skywalker. It's not a bad film by any stretch.
Yes, it is.
Yes, it is.
It is a very
Michael, speak.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
bad film.
It is at best a 2 out of 10. It is at worst a -1. Holy
I mean,
shit!
I mean, to be honest, the last what was it, Skywalker? I would
Jedi.
say it was the best of the worst, and what I mean by that is
The
simply
best of the
like
trilogy.
yeah, the best of the horrible trilogy. Yeah.
Okay, I will admit, you could say very few, because I'm still going to be an asshole. You could say very few, somewhat decent or good things in the Last Jedi. There's nothing good in the Rise of Skywalker. Nothing.
I mean, I was gonna say that the knife thing that the one guy uses is unique, like how it's like a double bladed knife, and then it turns into two blades.
Oh yeah, I think the weapon design is pretty cool.
But that's just Ventress's double bladed lightsaber from the Clone Wars movie.
Oh, I hate that weapon. It's so stupid.
Some of the weapon designs look cool, but the logic behind them makes no sense.
It actually comes with another feature, though. See, it can disappear at will.
The plot is so powerful, it deletes weapons,
and that is the best part of it.
The plot is the character itself. The plot is a character itself.
Like the laser whip that the one guy uses, but that's just a thing. That's just a build on the light whip from Star Wars: The Clone Wars Season 4. I guess the Cantobite creatures are unique in the sense that they're just the worst thing ever.
No, they look like tit monsters. They look like fucking. They look like if you cut someone's tit off. No. So listen. Imagine the logic.
Gambling place.
Imagine the logic of Luke getting his hand cut off from the Empire Strikes Back and making a clone out of the DNA of that hand, but instead you cut off somebody's tit and mutate it into monsters, and those are the creatures in Cantobite.
Yeah, that sounds pretty. Yeah, that sounds just about right.
Being unbiased shit is.
Why did you have to put that image in my head?
Well, let's keep going.
Shit is annoying and honestly exemplifies bad writing. Alright, now he goes into an area which he calls common sense.
The Last Jedi completely disregards simple space physics regarding gravity-driven bombs outside of the atmosphere, curving energy mortars in space, layers.
Oh yeah, how do those energy mortar things work anyway?
I have no idea. Oh yes, okay. So speaking about Leia and outside of space in a fucking Last Jedi, I was watching Molly's critique last night, and he brought up one guy. He brought up a clip of a guy talking about how you would die if you were in space for not even like less than a minute, and how you would die.
According to if you actually Google the whole thing with surviving in space, you fall unconscious and you cannot be unless you get oxygen restored to your brain immediately. You fall unconscious after 15 seconds, and you die after that. Your
body starts to your inside starts to flame,
freezing to death and burning alive all at the same time.
Yeah,
your insides are burning and you're freezing to death. And I don't care if Leia is force sensitive. She's not that force sensitive. The closest I can say to her being force sensitive,
can just restore
she's not a
oxygen to your brain.
Ray Sue.
No, listen. The closest to her being force sensitive is that she can sense things. We're talking about Leia from canon, not Legends. She can sense stuff. She doesn't have force powers.
Leia in The Last Jedi can use the Force to restore oxygen to her brain long enough for her to use the Force to grab onto the door while the ship is moving at thousands of miles per hour.
And how long was she outside of space?
If she was outside of space for 5 seconds. For 5 seconds.
No. But listen,
it was about a minute.
No way to make it back to the ship, and that's being
for a minute
being more generous than Rian Johnson deserves.
Just look, think about it. All those commanders who got blown out died, but somehow she didn't die, and she's not that far from the ship either.
How the ship, according to the movie, the ship was traveling backwards because the bridge is at the front. And there is a second set of controls on the ship, as if there were 2 bridges. But yet, why are there 2 bridges on the ship? Why aren't there 2 bridges on every single ship? Why?
Because reasons. That's why.
No.
Sorry.
Captain Phasma opting for decapitation as a means of a painful execution. Rose's speeder catching up with Finn's after.
Oh yeah, Captain.
Okay,
Phasma.
I will legit. Oh, sorry, everyone. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Man.
Okay, I will legit say, I came in kind of late on this, but I mean decapitation. Like, come on, like that is kind. I mean, actually, that would really hurt. Actually, no, it wouldn't because of the trauma. It wouldn't hurt unless you could survive like 15 more minutes, and then it would like hurt like heck.
As soon as you're decapitated, you're fucking gone.
Let's see here, Captain wait, what did he say? Wait, who got decapitated?
He's saying like when Finn when. Yeah, they're talking about like when they're saying like, "Oh, let us sentence him to a painful way of death. Let's decapitate him."
Oh yeah, that was so stupid.
Like they should have like.
We need to bring up when Phasma got bonked on the head by that space baton. They're implying that
her skull should have been cracked. The impact of that thingy. Her skull should have been fucking cracked.
Like that.
They're implying that space batons are more powerful than blasters. Not only that, but that, like when we see, remember when Finn got hit by the thing in The Force Awakens, if according to the Last Jedi, that thing should have gone right through him.
He should be dead right now. His insides should have been splattered.
Yeah.
Listen, the impact of that when it hit Phasma, she should have been unconscious. Her skull should have been cracked from the impact of that, especially since
maybe. I think her armor is just really fucking strong though, and that's the problem though.
I'd like to bring up a point.
The actor for Captain Phasma is actually a really good fucking actor. And she's wasted so badly. It's ridiculous how badly she's wasted.
Traveled in the opposite direction for a substantial period of time. Luke actively wasting time and playing word games with Rey to delay the plot. Holdo not telling Poe the plan to evacuate. Rose and Finn getting arrested on Canto Bight whilst seeking the codebreaker, only to find the exact codebreaker they need in the jail cell with them.
Well, to slight correction, not the exact codebreaker that they need. A completely different codebreaker that can get into Supreme Leader Snoke's ship for no reason. And somehow he has a vast amount of knowledge on this ship, despite the First Order being a rather unknown threat to the galaxy for some reason.
Yeah, how are the unknown?
This random fucking drunk. This random drunk on Canto Bight just happens to know what the Supremacy is as a ship.
How convenient.
Yeah,
it's not. It should be impossible. It's less than convenient. It's a huge contrivance.
Also, I just want to point out those quote unquote stormtroopers that were going to decapitate Rose and Finn. What are those weapons they're holding? How can I decapitate them? Just take a glimpse of what weapons they're holding. They look really stupid.
Let me search it up.
Laser X, oh my god!
It looks like
off in the Millennium Falcon during the Battle of Crate, and anything to do with Ghost Yoda and the 4 slave children.
Phew. Alright, again, this was a lot, and again, I'll start off with the things I agree with. Rose catching up with Finn is unrealistic, and honestly, I don't like much about that scene, especially not the kiss. It just seems forced, but yeah, what the fuck. Rose and Finn fighting another codebreaker.
Oh yeah. You know, just what the fuck, like that's all. Like,
right. Oh yeah. Also, Guard getting his ass handed by a fucking soccer ball droid.
Is very convenient, but it's also not a problem with the movie. Kylo sending all the time.
Is that a problem?
What?
How?
That was not a problem. If they didn't have that codebreaker there, the movie doesn't happen.
Plus, I'm pretty sure that if Finn didn't reach that... Well, actually, if Finn had reached the cannon in time, then the Rebels wouldn't be in any more danger.
No, he's talking about the codebreaker now.
Yes.
Hey, guys, I'll be right back.
Yes, but I'm also, saying that is food for thought as well.
Oh, yeah, that as well. Like, pretty much everything that Thomas brings up here is detrimental to the plot in some way.
Yeah.
I'm going to step out real quick.
Okay. Let's continue this fuckery.
TIE fighters after the fact is very stupid, yes, but he's also just a hormonal teenager who was just friend zoned by the girl he likes. So
what? I want to hear that again.
Someone that
Wait, guys,
need to
guys,
be in charge
look at
of the
Rose's
First
age.
Order.
Look at Rose's age and look at Finn's age.
Teenager who was just friend zoned by the girl he likes. Very stupid, yes, but he's also just a hormonal teenager who was finding another codebreaker is very convenient, but it's also not a problem with the movie. Kylo sending all the TIE fighters after the Falcon is very stupid, yes, but he's also just a hormonal teenager who was just...
Kylo's 30
years. Stop repeating
that.
that.
Oh my god. That can be mean.
30 years old.
Hormonal teenager. I need to edit that. Hormonal teenager. 30-year-old hormonal teenager.
Can somebody make an edit of that, please?
Teenager.
Well, so if Kylo is only a teenager and he can use Force stasis, kill 30 Jedi back when he was almost snuffed out by Luke.
Right.
And he can rival Rey in the Force, who is like Palpatine's granddaughter. That is absolutely insane. Him being 30 years old, I can absolutely see him being an incredibly powerful Force user who can use Force stasis.
Kylo Ren would have been one of the best bad guys ever if, and only if, he was basically, like, he kept the mask on, and, like, his, like, saber could, like, be, like, better.
Like Robot Head said, that scar that Rey gave him, that should not only should have done more to his face, but it should have made him keep that mask on. Similar to how Vader got fucked up so bad he had to keep his mask on.
Personally, I think like maybe they should have like just done like they should have done this freaky surgery scene where they're operating on the scar, but then what's the ginger dude who's like, I just want to destroy Kylo Ren, whatever his name was.
Hux.
Yeah, him. He should have overseen it, and he should have seen Kylo, and then he takes one of the medics out on the side, and he flips him like a galactic credit or whatever. He says, make sure he doesn't come out alive. And basically, Kylo gets this, like, his entire face becomes, like, the color of his lightsaber. And he's just, like, black everywhere, and he's like, what have you done to me? And, like, he's just, like...
overly excited.
Basically do the Kylo equivalent of Darth Vader, but different. Something
Sounds
old,
interesting,
but fresh.
But, I think we got to get back to Turf's video here.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Give him a break.
A little bit. It's not like.
How about no, Diego?
How about yes?
Yep.
How about we shut the fuck up and continue this video?
Your mom.
How about don't mute me?
Fuck off.
I'll mute you.
Things I definitely agree with. The shit about space physics is a dumb argument against the movie. Physics don't need to make sense in Star Wars because...
Okay, dude, this is the same argument Eckhart Slater tried to use, saying that, oh, you can't complain about hyperspace in Star Wars because hyperspace never made sense.
Actually, yeah.
Look, alright, if gravity in Star Wars was established as a really weird thing that just never worked ever, like, then I would be perfectly fine with, I would be perfectly fine with like these bombs falling the way they do. But as far as we know in Star Wars, planets have Earth-like gravity, space has space-like gravity. Why does space suddenly not have space gravity? Because these bombs have to drop. That's just a complete, that's just a complete inconsistency with the lore. Like, it's just breaking gravity in order for your thing to happen.
Because it's not. It's fantasy with science fiction elements.
Okay, well, I will say, if that was his only statement about Star Wars, he'd probably be correct. But even in science fiction and in fantasy, there always has to be a basic set of physical and natural law which must apply. i.e. gravity.
And then that has been
he literally says that there
multiple
are
times.
scientific elements or science fiction elements in Star Wars.
Exactly.
Gravity is one of them.
Are you okay? That's pretty. Oh gosh, now we know why this is toxic Star Wars. Oh gosh.
Early on made the decision to focus more on story than realism. This is why
Shut the fuck up.
It's not about realism. It's about screenwriting.
101. Screenwriting 101.
And, you know, making your devices actually make sense.
George kept a lot of consistency in the original 6 Star Wars films. A lot of consistency.
The world building for the Force in the original trilogy is almost fucking perfect. It's actually insane if you go back and analyze the evolution of Force powers.
What about in the prequels?
It's I don't know. I haven't. I gotta take a closer look at it. I guess Force speed is the most questionable one, but I think you can excuse it to a certain degree. I think there are some points where Force speed would have been really helpful, like when they're running down the elevator shaft in Revenge of the Sith. Anakin using Force speed, just like I guess if he just held on to Palpatine and Obi-Wan at the same time, and then he just ran through the elevator, that would be a lot easier than just crap. Fuck it, throw our grappling hooks so we don't die.
Right.
It's like, it doesn't affect much with the plot unless I'm forgetting something. But it seems very odd that Anakin didn't try this.
There's sound. This is why there's magic. It makes the story.
Sound in space doesn't affect the plot.
Yeah, it really.
And it's an established rule from the very first fucking shot in Star Wars. The very first fucking shot. There's sound in space.
Yeah.
That's the first shot.
Well, I think guys gosh, I can't remember the first shot right now. But like there was one time where there could possibly be sound in space, but it's not really in space. And that's if you were to zoom out from like the jet thruster, because the jet thruster has to contain some oxidizer, and the oxygen is what would allow you to hear it, because it's a moderator, right? And so literally your face would be in the jet thruster, and so for the half millisecond that you were alive, you would hear this huge roar, and then you'd be dead.
Story better. There's this argument that there are still Star Wars physics to abide by, but fuck off. What? I hate that argument. But even then, the bombs make sense.
Are you gonna explain why you hate that
pisses me off?
Okay, I'm back. What did I miss?
Everything.
Basically, Turf Nation just said you have to abide by established. So he made up this guy who said you have to abide by established Star Wars physics, and he told him to fuck off for no reason. He's like, I'll just replay it. Fuck it.
And there's this argument that there are still Star Wars physics to abide by, but fuck off. What? I hate that argument. But
I hate that argument, and I'm not going to explain why. Fuck you for having that.
This can be memed so easily.
Yeah, like your child didn't fuck off.
Could. Please, somebody Please, somebody edit that.
Kerfer's more of a hypocrite than I thought.
Anyway,
even then, the bombs make sense, and it really pisses me off when people.
Why? Why do they make sense?
Yeah, can you explain how they make sense?
Please, I want to know. You have to explain this to me, man.
Yes.
We'll use this argument to shit on.
The Star Wars is just for nerds. The only good Star Wars movie is fucking Empire Strikes Back.
What?
I think that's even heresy for normies. Like.
Yeah. Okay, right. I'm not an insane Star Wars fan, but I take it for what it is. And I hate it when they try to put political agendas and stuff in it, especially the sequels. But like,
I hate agendas being shoved in all Star Wars, not just fucking. I hate political agendas being shoved in anything, like fantasy type of shit I like, not just Star Wars.
Yeah. So,
like
but
what they're going to do to Lord of the Rings?
What? What are
Oh
they doing with Lord of the Rings? No, not my baby.
They're
No.
gonna ruin it.
No, please, no. Okay. Anyhow, so now, as I was saying, basically, like, I think this dude, he's just like, I think each of the films, because I'm not a huge Star Wars fan, are good in their own right and in their own way. Like, I think, like, the prequels, they're beautiful movies, right? And what I may be speaking is heresy here, but, it's also my opinion. Good move, Michael. No, but I think that each of the films are beautiful in their own way, and they all have faults in some way or another, right?
The first 6, you mean?
Hmm?
The first
yeah, the first 6, yeah.
Yeah, no, you're right.
Yeah, so, like, I love Revenge of the Sith for the epic music and all that stuff and the choreography, but I don't love it so much for maybe, other elements, etc., etc., etc. Back to the video!
There's artificial on the ship. That's how Rose's sister falls and breaks her fucking back. The momentum of the bonds gained carried them towards the dreadnought.
If she broke her back, she couldn't have moved.
Well, if she broke her lower back, then she won't be able to move her legs, and she'd be in extreme pain, which would explain it.
She got pinned.
Oh.
And
well,
also
that's not
she
good.
was kicking the ladder.
Bruh.
Ugh.
Bruh.
Wait, why would the momentum carry from the artificial gravity to space gravity? Again, from what we see, there is no change in the speed from the bombs to when they fall from the bomber to when they hit the ship. They just fall as if they fell off of your nightstand. As if, like, you dropped a fucking penny in real life. It's the weirdest shit ever. Believe it or not, something being in a vacuum kills its momentum. Because the inertia, the gravitational force that sent it is suddenly out of the equation.
That is
Unless it was already yeeted into a vacuum, then it will keep going.
Yes, but it was never.
But it's hard to say if, like, there's no force field or, like, vacuum. Like if there was a force field at the bottom of the ship that the bombs passed through. Like, if there was some sort of like magnetically propelled thing, then that would be totally fine. But as far as we know, they just drop like into nothing. I don't.
See, my headcanon is that the bombers in The Last Jedi were originally used to transport, like,
You have the sequels in your head canon?
My headcanon for the scene is just that
I have headcanon to try and make sure I don't go insane from the sequel.
Yeah, I mean, like, my out of movie explanation for that
It's
is
not
that
hard to
they're
understand. Lay on the curved shots. I can.
Is that the bombs were magnetically propelled using the artificial gravity, and then they flew out of an invisible force field. We just don't see it because fuck you.
Yeah, but
and then they fell on the bombers.
Bruh.
But maybe
so many holes
so many issues. What happens if, like, another bomber is in the way?
What if there was a TIE fighter?
See you later.
Yeah. Like, what if there's just a TIE fighter under the ship and it shot the bombs?
See you later.
It would be that easy for, like, a TIE fighter to just fly up into the into one of the bombers and just dismantle the entire thing.
I can understand, even though they aren't significant, but this one just gets to me. Luke using word games to delay the plot? What are you on about? I'm actually really interested as to what you mean by this, cause
Luke makes up some random ideologically vapid
hold
bullshit.
out your hand. Blah 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 blah. Everything on that too.
Oh my god, his whole thing was like the Jedi bad. He's just spewing.
I mean, we know Jedi bad from the prequels.
And him just saying, "I came on this island to die."
So here's the thing. I actually am going to thank my sister for pointing this out to me, but The Last Jedi is very, very anti-religion, and it's just that stupid because guess who made the first schools? Religious people. Guess who made the first hospitals that actually helped people?
The Catholics.
Christianity.
Yeah, baby.
So being very anti-religious, it's just like
Let's
so
burn it to the ground,
saying-
said the Last Jedi.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's
Yeah, I
another
mean-
problem with The Last Jedi.
Yeah, like, oh my god, Range, god, Luke is like, the Jedi are bad because Palpatine killed them all. They're just, they suck. It's like,
We're not bad because we got killed. We're bad because we were bad. I mean,
if you had like a really good explanation along the lines of,
zealous.
like, if it was something along the lines of Kreia, where like, one, she had a personal stake in the story for hating the Jedi, and two, she had a pretty in-depth explanation for it, then I wouldn't be mad at him for being incorrect overall. But literally, his only reason is that the Jedi died. Fuck you.
And that Sidious rose to power.
It's not like Luke would have done anything about it. Luke's literally doing nothing about it. Actually, like he thinks he literally thinks he's helping the galaxy by doing nothing, even though in the original trilogy, him doing something is what led to him saving the galaxy.
Star Wars is bad.
You know what?
Memory is just
I've
that dull.
seen this plot before. Do you know where I've seen it? Tron Legacy with Finn.
Tron Legacy.
Finn.
Yeah, I never thought.
We have
pretty much.
minutes.
Flynn, the main character. So Flynn, who is a dad now, one of the programs he made, Clue, kind of went crazy, and Flynn literally said, the only way to win the game is to not play it.
Yep.
Ryan Johnson is literally ripping off of Tron Legacy. And guess what happens at the end of Tron Legacy? Flynn actually does something to save his son.
Proof.
Yeah.
Well, Stein is in the AI core, but makes a good point. Kreia would have despised Jake Skywalker. Her most famous motto was "Apathy is death. Worse than death, for at least a rotting corpse feeds the insects." Jake literally decided to abandon the galaxy for his own selfish mistake, and that is absolutely true.
Kreia would have probably hated Jake so much he would have killed him.
Yeah.
But specifically referring to not liking the Jedi, it's like,
his stupidity. His stupidity.
I mean, like, part of Kreia's character is like hating the Force and like in the Jedi perception of it. But the Jedi are bad because they died. They're just bad at their job. You know, even though
Jedi are bad.
I mean, like, she's probably the smartest person in all of Star Wars. You know, maybe Grand Admiral Thrawn in Legends.
Fucking. Anyway, let's continue. We have literally 2 fucking minutes of this shit.
Let's do this!
I can't wait to be
Thrawn is the worst character.
You can elaborate on this. I've already talked about why Holdo has little reason to tell Poe about the plan, as she doesn't know if she can trust him.
Okay, but Poe would have figured out about the plan no matter what. Like, Poe would have found it out at some point. Like, not only is Poe like a high-ranking officer in the Resistance, but he would have known about the plan whether she told him now or later.
I also like to point out the fact that he saved their lives in literally the previous scene before that.
Oh, it doesn't count because he lost their bombers. It's even though within hindsight, if the dreadnought had followed them through hyperspace like the rest of the ships, it would have blown them to hell.
Also, the fact that I was listening to a Literature Devil live stream one day. I forget who it was, but it was one of the co-hosts who was also in the military, but he said like, well, of course, a high-ranking officer wouldn't tell a low-ranking officer, and like, yeah, that's in a established army. The resistance is basically a bunch of volunteers.
400 to be exact. 400.
Yeah, that is true.
Anyone on the ship, since he was demoted and since he's impulsive.
Okay, who is typing aggressively on their keyboard?
Yeah, you need to fucking stop.
And ends up causing a fucking
5
mutiny.
seconds away from muting you. Oh, it's Lucas. Okay,
Alright.
cool.
Just because we know he's a good guy doesn't mean every character should as well. Read the scene.
What?
Let's
Let's
go off of what Holdo knows about Poe Dameron. Poe Dameron blew up Starkiller Base. The one thing that gave the First Order control of the galaxy until the Last Jedi decided it didn't. Poe Dameron saved the Resistance by blowing up the Dreadnought. Poe Dameron is a recognized war hero and the best paladin in the Resistance. Poe Dameron is a little bit cocky. Given that information, I have no idea how you could surmise that Poe is untrustworthy. How could you possibly come to that conclusion?
Because the movie said
the
so.
only way people in the military, they get reprimanded, but like not to that extent. It's just like, well, you got to live with the consequences of people that died on your hands.
The only way to excuse Poe or Holdo's aggressiveness towards Poe is that she's a moron, and that's just incredibly lazy writing.
It's literally, I believe that Rian Johnson wrote it that way because of like
He
his
hates Star
relationship
Wars.
with Kathleen Kennedy, and I swear how he got to pull this stuff off is that he slept with her while making.
What? I mean, how old is Kathleen Kennedy?
What did he do? What did he do?
How old is Kathleen Kennedy?
He slept with Kathleen Kennedy. Damn.
That's just horrifying to dream of.
What I think, and I have pictures that I have found on the internet of them having lunch together, and you can tell that there was something there.
Well, okay. Question. I have the most important question. Why would you go on the internet and look up pictures of that in the first place?
Because I was looking up proof for my theory.
Okay.
Don't
I'm
care.
like, how can someone
Pretty gay.
How can someone get permission to create something this bad?
Someone exists.
To be honest,
make
that
something
would
that bad.
imply that Kathleen Kennedy wouldn't do something like that unless Ryan convinced her to do that. She would 100% make something.
What's wrong with Ghost Yoda?
Like him to make something like that.
How can we not talk about this?
Okay, Ghost Yoda is okay. Yoda being a ghost is good, but him using Force Lightning just contradicts so much.
He doesn't just use Force Lightning. He summons a lightning bolt from out of the sky.
Oh my god!
If Yoda just used like standard Force Lightning, that would have been so much better. It would have been stupid, but it would have been so much better.
He summoned it out of the sky.
The original puppet, it's Frank Oz. He's funny and mischievous. He's wise as fuck, and his presence is so familiar and heartwarming.
Nostalgia equals good.
I guess he is kind of in character. I mean, I don't know.
No, nostalgia equals good, guys. We learned this from Mandalorian. If you just put enough nostalgia in...
I mean, to be fair, Yoda is telling Luke to just look past a pile of old books, and it's like, yeah, Rennie already knows everything. You're a moron, Luke. And it's like, okay, Yoda, why didn't you tell him that 10 years earlier when he could have used it instead of telling him right now when he's already let the First Order take control of the entire galaxy?
Warming, at least. Seeing Yoda again made me so happy, and I really believe his part was well placed within the story.
He made me. No, it's not.
Yes,
He should have been Anakin Skywalker.
When I saw it, I clapped
Yeah.
when I saw it. That's basically that statement.
When I saw Yoda, I clapped.
I clapped when I saw the Yoda. All right. Anyway.
Lightning, which asked questions about the potential of Force ghosts in the physical world, but honestly, I didn't care. I was just so happy to see him back with actual good writing.
Holy fucking
Actual good writing.
Well, that basically is everything. If he thinks The Last Jedi is good writing, then I mean that's basically.
But then he basically thinks every single movie on this planet has good writing.
Oh well, especially The Last Jedi.
Prequel, because prequel's bad.
What?
Well, yeah, that's basically it. Prequel's bad.
Deus fault.
Yeah.
We'll show him the way.
His speech was very needed and perfectly helps expedite Luke's character arc. His speech to Luke was very needed and His speech to Luke was very needed and
doesn't need a character arc. He already had one.
In the original 3 movies, he already had one.
I mean, yeah.
Like he doesn't need another one.
Perfectly helps expedite Luke's character arc. I liked Yoda. Lastly, if you didn't like...
Oh, did you see that subliminal message? Join my Discord.
Yeah, we're never gonna join your Discord. Your mods will.
Hey, I joined it. It's not that bad.
Except they know who we are, and they want us dead.
They can be kind of uneducated at times. A couple of them, but I kind of.
No, we've literally had issues with them on other Discords.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
It's not like that. We're gonna join that Discord.
That's my bad. That's my bad.
God damn it.
I fixed it. I'll fix it.
How close are we to finishing the video?
Very
With
close.
actual
We
good
just
writing. His speech to Luke was very needed and perfectly helps expedite Luke's character arc. I like
Yada yada yada.
Lastly,
He doesn't
if you
need a
didn't
character arc.
like the Force sensitive children, then what's wrong with you? That kid is me. That kid is you. That kid is every.
Oh, man,
Okay. I'd like to say. I'd like to say something on this. I actually did like The Boy because I am tired of feminist movies. But of course, Disney will never, ever, ever produce anything about that kid actually being maybe possibly a Jedi or something.
Except if it was for Ryan Johnson.
Yeah, exactly. So
It was so stupid to tease him.
it was a good idea, but like horribly execution. Because I would have liked to seen like I would have liked to seen like imagine what would have happened if they turned what was it, Fallen Order into a movie. I never played that, but the one with the boy. I thought that would have been kind of cool.
Well, but what was the point of teasing that boy using the Force with the broom in the Last Jedi?
Because Ryan Johnson was going to get a trilogy, and it was going to be about Broom Boy.
Yeah, it's gonna be about Broom Boy.
It's going to be Broom Boy, The Last Jedi.
Oh gosh.
The
Yeah, they probably should have chosen a different person for that, but I kind of
The Last Jedi Part
it gave
2.
me hope for half a second, and then I realized this is Disney we're talking about.
So the thing I don't understand about this scene is how do the slave people know about the story? The only people who saw it happen would have been the AT-AT drivers from the First Order, and their description of the events would have been, so this guy showed up in front of Kylo, and then he disappeared. And then maybe some random bar guy, maybe like they're like chilling out at a bar somehow, and then some random guy overhears them, and he's gonna be like, "Oh, they must be drunk." Or maybe he does tell it to his kids. You know what? Maybe let's say that he does. He's like, so I heard these guys talking about a guy who disappeared, and then like his wife tells some guys like, oh, my husband saw these guys at a bar and they were acting weird. Like, I have no idea how the story that's already incredibly fucking loose becomes a tale about heroics and redemption and hope for the galaxy, when like not only the probability of that is just like 10 million to 1, but the fact that it even happened is just really fucking contrived.
Every child who has ever dreamt of being a Jedi. The shit that made us feel special as kids, that made us feel like we could do anything.
How does that child know what a Jedi is?
How does that have anything to do with
it? That's what these scenes are telling you. Not that your childhood is ruined for some reason.
Well, I mean...
Well, The Last Jedi pretty ruined it.
Close enough.
I personally loved the Force-sensitive children scenes. They were impactful. Alright, but that wraps up part 1 of this 2-parter series. This is the first time I've purposefully split
Part 1?
Oh, part one!
I want to go into detail with this video.
Part
1? Which therefore...
Has he done a part 2 yet?
What? Yeah, we're gonna find you.
We're gonna. This video would be quite long, with only part 1. But yeah, don't worry, you won't have to wait long,
not good.
Because part 2 will be up in a couple days.
You won't have to wait long.
Oh.
Part 1.
If you enjoyed this video,
part 1. Oh god, oh no!
It's the bloopers! It's the bloopers!
Why?
It's for the bloopers!
But why?
Stop!
Stop.
Please stop.
No, actually,
Stop.
Stop. Hey everybody. Lupus, end the stream. End the stream. End the stream.
End it.
End the stream.
End the stream.
Merry Christmas. Bye.
Yo, Airborne. Lupus.